Man, shout out to the True SDX, right? Holy smokes. Absolutely killer out there. Oh, we got somebody in Hawaii doing a POTA right now? We gotta chase them if we can. Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? How's it going? This is the After Chat. The After Chat, it's really about you. You can make it whatever you want. We just, want to make sure we answer your questions. That's what we're really out here trying to do. We're trying to make sure that you have a nice, soft path into amateur radio, because it can be kind of challenging out there. So the way we do that is we hang out with a lot of smart friends that will answer your questions. I will try my best to do that as well, but it helps a lot that I've got a lot of smart people in the room that can help us. So let's go ahead and dive on in.
And you listen. And if you have to listen for 5 hours, good, even better. The less you key and the more you listen is better.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Joshua, what's up?
Hey, Josh.
Hey.
Abri.
Oh, the triumphant return of Ham Radio Tube. It's been a busy man, that Ham Radio Tube. What have you been up to, man?
I got a lot of tubes to change, What am I gonna do?
Using my dad's tube. He has literally a World War II.
All right, we're talking to Mike. Hold on one second. We're saying hi to Mike. Yeah. So, Mike, what have you been up to, man? I haven't seen you in a
while. Not much. Just been taking it easy and making videos, and we'll get into a little bit later. We may have done a little bit more than 100 watts today.
I saw the image. So. I saw the picture.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yes. Do share that when it's talk to the YouTubers moment.
Yes.
Right.
Glad to be here. I've only got about 2 hours of sleep last night. Could not fall asleep. Woke up at 5 this morning. Got on the road at 6. Drove 3 hours to Louisiana, and now I'm here. And the stupid Specs is the beer store and the liquor store in Texas. Mm-hmm. Always out of my beer. Went to Kroger too. They didn't have my beer, so I had to buy a Stone, Stone Brewery.
Yeah.
Variety IPA pack, and these are all big beers. I'm drinking the Hazy Double.
Yeah, they're big.
8.5.
They're definitely
not all big, dude.
They're not all.
I'm on my
IPAs for sure.
This is my 4th beer now, and I'm dude, I'm done. So. I don't know how I'm gonna stick out for a while. I don't know if it's gonna be a late night for K at MRD today, but
well, we'll try to get you off in the cuff here in a I was gonna say hi to the
I was having ham radio crash course. What's it? What are the
withdrawals?
Withdrawal. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. I'm so tired I can't even use my word though. Yeah, good to be here, and great show. That was fun.
Well, thanks. I was very surprised by the True SDX. I'm really glad that I updated the firmware on it. That was surprising how well it performed. I was shocked. Have you played with one before?
No, but I mean, there's a big caveat, and it was mentioned a little bit in the stream. But we're looking at let's say sub $600 radios.
Yeah,
with a $4,000 antenna. So I
mean, I have really high noise floor. I'll say that much. I have very high noise.
So do I.
It wasn't okay. So let me be really clear. So I'm never okay. Maybe everybody's not like me, and this is actually a really good place to start this out. I'm not that impressed when I can get my signal out. Transmitting the radio's transmit capability. It is an important thing. It's very very important. It's the receiving that is always the thing that most impresses me. And I'm not impressed often when it comes to receivers. I just kind of like, yeah, it works. It's serviceable, whatever. That's like a $135 radio, and that receiver was pretty good for $135 from my point of view.
Yeah, yeah. But it just goes to show, like, it's really antenna to a vast degree.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
I'm surprised you got that quote unquote ham radio to work.
Which one?
When you worked the one that literally says ham radio,
Yeah,
one that kept powering off, and then you worked RAR up in Oregon. He's a big POTA activator.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear him, but yeah, that was cool.
So I mean, yes, the transmit capability is impressive. I agree, and it is the antenna, guys. Spoiler alert, it's my antenna, but it's the receiver I'm most interested in. So
4,000 rims on a Corolla.
Okay, don't go buy. Hold on, everybody watching, don't go buy a True SDX yet. I'm gonna pull up the website. Let me do this though. So, Mike, it's great you're here. Appreciate you. I'm gonna kick things off though by saying hello to everybody. This is the Ham Radio Crash Course After Chat. The way this works is pretty simple. We're here to answer questions. That's our primary goal. We're gonna geek out pretty hard, and the wheels are gonna fall off this thing, and we're gonna get nuts with all kinds of random topics. But we at least like to start off with answering your questions. And the way that works is you take the link in the description, you join us over on Discord for the Ham Radio Crash Course, you join us on the live-stream/afterchats voice chat, set that PTT button, and then you can come on in with your voice, ask your questions live. Because I'll tell you what, this hobby is complicated enough that when you ask a question, I almost always have follow-on questions to your question. So that's kind of how we start things off. So with that said, is there anyone in the Discord right now that is here for the first time that would like to ask a question? Because we'd love to answer it. So go ahead. Anybody new? Oh man, nobody new. All right, well, hang on to that thought. If you're still struggling or working on the application to get set up for the first time, no problem. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to show you a website really fast that I have to do to make sure everybody's on the same page. If you Google True SDX, you don't need the parentheses, just True SDX, and you go to True SDX, where to buy. It's on the bottom here of this drop-down menu. Where to buy. DL2MAN only has a couple of people that he recommends you buy from. In AliExpress, there is a link, but it's not all the AliExpress. It's a couple of providers. So I will drop the link so everybody can see that. Go to the appropriate link of where to buy if you want to buy one of these radios. And let's just go ahead and pull up Uptech. Uptech is where I bought one of these. I think I bought like 3 now, one of these radios. Maybe? Are they gone? What happened? Okay, how about, oh, there's an Amazon? Why are the links not opening? Well, if there's an Amazon, I'll drop my, well, here we go. So $92, I don't know that has the enclosure, though, does it? It doesn't look like it has the enclosure. I'm going to drop the affiliate code on this, but if it doesn't have the enclosure, then just keep that in mind.
$92, is that all?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a yeah.
I was gonna ask a question about, like, are you really gonna use one of these radios, or is it more just like a fun toy to have?
It's a fun toy to have.
Bucks.
It's a fun toy to have. But also, Mike, do you see how many toroids it has? Look at the toroid count.
Did you see the little tiny choke that I built the other day that I posted?
No.
It was like dude, it's tiny. I mean, it's probably the same size. I forget the size of the toroid, but it's, oh my God. It took me probably like 12 minutes to wind one toroid.
How many toroids was it?
But it was only one. It was just, it was a choke. It was N6 ARA's tiny choke. But they're probably that same size.
Yeah, and I think they've got some more complicated toroids in there. You have to.
So tempting, though. And I have a 3D printer. I can make the case.
So if you don't want to do that, you can buy pre-assembled. Oh, there's the wait. Let me see. Kit. Okay. So here's mine. This is the assembled orange one, and they have assembled green, assembled gray, and assembled blue. I think the blue looks very It's very smashing, but I like the orange. Everything orange is my favorite. So I'll drop the link for the AliExpress as well. So let me give a big shout out. Okay. If you're not a futzer, if you're not somebody who likes to turn the building and troubleshooting of a thing into a hobby, just go buy this one. Just go buy it, and you're good. You're done. You're all set. Now, also, don't expect to get the best experience that I had tonight. That is a fluke, because I have definitely put that radio on this antenna before, and it's not performed nearly as well. So keep that in mind.
I've run mine on digital modes. It works.
It does have it has a micro USB, so it will do digital modes as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, very good.
Is there a spot for us to get the files for a case?
I don't know. So if you go pull up DL2MAN's website, and he may have them. I don't know.
Yeah, there are, because I took my orange one and reprinted the top because I wanted orange body with a red top. But anyway, that was me. So yeah, you can get the pieces.
So yeah, it does support cat control. So it's got full cat audio, all that fun stuff. You can do all the stuff with it. It's a hobbyist radio. We Adam and I have talked about this at length on the live streams. I think Adam's actually in the chat too, so we'll probably hear from him in a bit. But yeah, it's a hobbyist radio. If you are like looking for something that's super reliable and will get you contacts all the time, this is probably not it. But it's a fun challenge. I'll say that. Assembly maybe. Is there? I don't know where the print files are.
I would say, by the way, this is not your first radio.
No,
it is a play toy for guys who have had some experience in radio. This is not your first radio.
That's probably a good way to say it. Yeah, there's very little soldering on the True SDX. It's mainly.
It looks like it's a good. It looks like it's a good first hit radio, though, potentially.
Yeah, if you don't mind being out a radio, then it's a great radio. Because it may spend a lot of time not working. All right, very good. Let's double check again. Anybody in the chat? But we got a light group, probably because we ran long. Anybody in the chat who'd like to say hi as a first timer or would like to ask a question? Go ahead.
Hey, Josh, it's... Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. Sorry, I was waiting for somebody. I was just feeling dead air.
Oh, yeah. It's Bryce, KK7LXF. Looking into getting into soda, mostly there's not many park spots within Vegas, so I plan on doing soda more than POTA out in the mountains anyway. But
in Vegas? Wait, are you in Vegas?
Yeah.
There's a ton of POTA spots outside of Vegas. You got Red Rock Canyon. You got like 4 parks you can hit in like one. You can hit 4 parks in like 4 hours, easy.
Yeah, I just for me, so I do off-roading. So
okay.
I'd probably lean towards more sodas than POTAs, but just if I was doing POTA, I'd probably bring the kids with me. Yeah, I could do Tool Springs, and then there's the Fort Park in town. But anyway, looking into getting into doing soda mostly, just because I off-road, and I'm just curious. I was looking at the FT891 and the Shigu G90, right? One QRP, the G90 obviously, and the FT891.
Mm-hmm.
I move every 3 to 4 years given my job, so I'm kind of looking for the base station and the the one that I could take out on soda. It seems like FT891 fits that role better. But I was just curious if there was any other radios that you would recommend that may fit that role better than the FT891, or is that just the end-all be-all? I do plan on just doing single sideband.
It really comes down to your budget. How much do you want to spend?
Well, I could save forever. Yeah, probably $1,000 at the most.
I mean, if you want to be $1,000 in and out and still being able to buy a battery, a power supply, and an antenna, then the 891 is probably where you want to be. The downside, and I'll just be honest with you, the downside is that you're gonna end up having a bit of a time as treating it like a base station, because it's not the most convenient in terms of its use. Like the user interface is a little clunky. if that makes sense.
Yeah, I was reading on a few people where they comment that in the reviews and stuff.
I would argue that.
I don't. Oh, go ahead. You can. Go ahead.
Well, so I had my first HF radio was the Yaesu FT450, and then I upgraded to the 891. This was probably a year or so after the 891 came out, and it was like the hottest thing in the world. So I bought that for because I wanted to upgrade from the 450, but I also wanted a radio for portable, and that's exactly what I did. I loved using the 891 in the shack. I loved using it portable. Yes, the menus are clunky. That's every Yaesu radio ever. But in all reality, there's really not much, especially he said he's only doing sideband. So there's really not a lot menu-wise that you need to muck with. So
only if you go into digital. Digital's a nightmare. That's true.
It is until you know how to do it, and it's really not that hard. It's just it's Yaesu. It's just you have to get over the Yaesu curve.
Sure.
And the G90 has its own things if you want to get on digital. So
I guess also So Mike, by the way, I'm not taking anything away from you. I think your point is valid. At that price point of under $1,000 with everything, yeah, I think that's probably the best you're going to do.
Yeah.
I think I think we could just say cut. There you go. Now
there's really only a $200 difference between the G90 and the 891, maybe $220.
I feel like for $220 you get a lot more radio stepping up to the 891 though. I will say that.
Oh yeah,
no question, no question. Here's my point though. I think going forward in the future, there's going to be some kind of cut over where we start saying base station radios are the ones that have the big screens on them. The waterfalls, the pan adapters. I think it's going to progressively become cheaper and cheaper, and to the point that if it doesn't have a screen with a waterfall and a pan adapter, it's going to be a quaint old technology type radio.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So,
but look at how long it takes radio, especially radio manufacturers from Japan, to change things.
We're already there.
We're just now, not in a small form factor like the 891.
Oh no!
We're just now seeing USB-C on HTs from Japan.
Fair enough.
China's been doing it for like 3 years.
So fair enough.
Not 3 years, but.
Yeah. So fair enough. The size of the 891 can't be beat. You're not really going to cram a pan adapter and all that stuff into an 891. It's just,
to be fair,
it's not gonna.
The 891 does technically have a pan adapter.
Oh, don't.
Really bad.
It's
literally the worst.
If you went to the Pizza Hut as a kid to go get your Book It personal pan pizza and you played the game Defender, that's what it feels like to watch the pan adapter on the FT891.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bad. Yes, get the 891.
Cheers for my hardcore arcade nerds that copied that reference. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm hearing everything Mike's putting down. I'm totally on board with what he's saying. It's really like I don't know. So here again, okay, shit. If you're gonna do portable stuff, if you're gonna do that we didn't even hit the thing about soda. We didn't even hit the thing about summits on the air. How much hiking do you got to do for these summits? Uh-oh, we lost him. Where's our guy?
Hello?
Yeah. You're there.
Oh,
okay.
Sorry about that. Window went out of focus. But yeah, a dirt bike will get you just about anywhere.
Oh, okay. So as long as you're following all the rules of soda, that you can't ride the dirt bike all the way up to the activation spot. You got to get to the final location under your own power, which I assume. So if you're taking a dirt bike, oh yeah, 891 all day. You're golden. You're golden. Okay.
I did not know about that rule. I'm still learning about how soda works and all that, so I'll have to read into the rules. But
please do.
How far? Yeah, obviously. How far out do you have to be when you get off from there?
You have to be able to go from your mode of conveyance to the operator spot under your own power. All the gear must get to its location under your own power. So it could be 5 feet. It doesn't really matter.
Oh. Well, I won't cheat the system, I promise. But I'm still learning the rules.
Yeah, no problem. I didn't expect you were trying to cheat the rules or anything. So yeah, right on. Cool. All right. Good. I'm glad we could.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And actually, come back and let us know what you decided on once you figure out what you're gonna do. Let us know.
Oh, for sure, we'll do. I watch every Saturday.
Oh, excellent. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. All right, who's next? Anybody in there? First time, like to say hi or ask a question. We want to help you out. Go for it.
Hey, Josh, I have a by proxy question from a new time person.
A by proxy question. Okay. It's a Munchausen by proxy?
No.
Okay.
No, not. This is Sean H. from a couple weeks ago that just got his license. He's here with me, so I'll let him talk, but I'll be pushing the PTT button.
Okay, we're now taking third-party traffic on the live stream Discord. Go ahead, third-party traffic.
Check-ins for the YL system.
Everybody's got a name, damn it.
This is Kilo Oscar 6, Bravo Juliet Lima?
Close
Almost
enough.
had it.
You got it.
Previously known as Sean H. from 2 weeks ago. And I have a question. I'm a newly licensed tech, and I have a question about single sideband.
Okay.
And I have a little bit of a setup.
Okay.
So if a sine wave, if the carrier wave, just think of a happy, pure sine wave, is like a pickup truck, and the modulation that you do to it, whether it's amplitude, frequency, or phase, is the payload.
Okay.
That makes sense. Now, what I can't quite figure out is single sideband. And for that, I have another vehicle-based analogy. If the motorcycle is the carrier wave and the saddlebags are upper and lower sideband, and you get rid of the motorcycle and one of the sidebands or side bags, both.
Yeah.
How do you transmit when there's no carrier wave?
So I'll hit you with another unrelated analogy. What if I just had a rail gun and the depleted uranium slug that I'm shooting out of it is your upper sideband signal? The rail gun is your radio that is suppressing the carrier and the lower sideband, the vestigial sideband, and only blasting out the upper sideband. So everything else is filtered out, basically.
So it's there so there's modulation, but it's not transmitted.
Correct.
That's
Okay.
all. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah. It's a rail gun. It's all a series of tubes, everybody. Right on. Cool. Anybody else have a question? Newcomers are preferred because that's what we're here for, right? Everybody watching, we want to answer your questions. We want to have you be active in this hobby. It doesn't matter how you want to be active. We're literally in a chat room with, 50 people that all have different expertise. And our Discord is loaded with people that cover the gamut of expertise on amateur radio. So who's got the next question? Somebody new has a question? Go for it. All right. You know what that means? We're going to take a little break, say hi to our YouTube friends. So let's go down the list. We've got ham radio for non-techies, man. You haven't been around for a little while either, so it's good to hear you. What's been going on?
Oh, I've just been staying busy, man. I've had a busy couple of weeks. Just celebrated my 22nd year anniversary with my wife yesterday.
Wait, how many years?
22 years.
Congratulations.
My wife. Tell
My
Jackie
wife.
I say congratulations.
Absolutely. Thank you much. Yeah, so went out and had a nice dinner last night and just enjoyed the time and been getting in some new things. I'm going into a whole different career now, so I'm trying some new stuff and been taking up a lot of my time, but I'm trying to get some new shows out there. I'm having a little difficulty right now with this particular new show I want to do because it's a controversial topic. It's probably going to cheese off quite a few people, but I don't really care.
Is it furries?
No, nothing to do with that. Ever. No. But yeah, just going with the flow. I love the show tonight. Absolutely fantastic. When you were using the True SDX on your step IR, I kept thinking to myself, $4,000 rims on a Corolla. That's all I can think of.
Well, yeah, but no, it would be like a supercharger, right? Because it would be something performance related, right? Because the step IR is it does allow me to perform like
it's a fantastic
insane.
antenna.
Like it on 10 meters in particular is amazing. But yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
But no, it was just excellent show. I think I love shows like this that catch you thinking outside the box. You had some radios on there I've never even seen or heard of before. that were kind of cool. So, yeah.
I do have a horrible, crippling addiction to tiny radios. If I find a tiny radio, I buy it. I love tiny radios for some reason.
Oh, they're cool.
Oh,
And it's just the idea of something that small you can transmit and receive radio signals. It's just something. I mean, we know it's all just the science of it, but there's something fascinating about that.
I love it. I'm totally at a loss though. I got hit with one of the funniest comments. Baofeng Man has furious emissions. Thank you. That was from Spoo Bop Ooh Bee Boo Bop. Perfect. Perfect. Nicely done. Again, I'm fully. I said this in the live stream. I know of many furries that are in our community. They don't. That doesn't bother me. I don't care what you do in addition to your hobby. But like the fact that QST is acknowledging it, I was like, hey, good for them because they're real. You know, they're out there. There are furries that are out there. It's like I've never seen a cover like this in my life. I don't think anyone has. This is absolutely wild.
I'm a little bit of adult. What is a furry?
People that dress up in fursuits and go to conventions, and sometimes they role play as their potential fur characters for various things. They can have different personality traits. They could do different things. It's almost like having a cartoon character that you role play as in some particular
just a form
situation.
of cosplay.
Yeah, it's like cosplaying. That's okay. If you understand what cosplaying is, that's perfect. It can depend though. Not everybody cosplays.
Yeah. Yep. Sometimes it goes further than.
Yeah. So wait, who was it? Wow. Okay, I was waiting for somebody to just bluntly say it's not exclusively a sex thing, if that's what you're asking, but it's kind of also a sex thing.
So, Wild Radio.
I'm dead. I didn't expect I didn't expect anybody to drop just the hard sex thing, but to have it come from Wild Radio is like.
So
okay.
You're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying?
Point is don't
cosplay
go
without the cost.
Yeah, don't go looking at Google and then click on images when you're looking at it.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna go back to my radio because okay, there we go. I am not bothered by what people do in their private lives. I don't care. But to imply that all furries are this contingent of people that you don't want to be involved in for the ick factor is just not true, because there's tons of people that have nothing to do with that portion of it, that they just like that aspect of it, the character aspect of it. And it's like, okay, if you happen to run a radio and that's the thing you do, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. It does have a stigma. Yeah. No, totally. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Steven. I get it. But, I'm not going to get... Again, I don't care. I don't care what people do. I really don't. I'm not offended. What was God? I totally got sidetracked then. The whole fur thing. I wanted to say something else. We're good, right? Are we good? Ham Radio for non-techies? That kind of.
Oh yeah. We can go back to antennas now.
Okay. I did miss Frank though. Frank from YouTube. Go ahead, Frank. I know you had third-party traffic, but good you're in here too, man. What's been going on with you?
Good evening, Josh and everyone. I actually will have a video out hopefully next week. I sat here doing a non-POTA park activation. I came down the street to my local park, and I've just been sitting here playing radio and doing CQP all day on portable power. So I'll have a little bit of a video out sometime next week. And I actually do have a technical question that I'm sure Josh can answer real quick.
Well, I got a question for you before you ask it. Did the cops get called on you? Because whenever I go to a local park that's not like a POTA state park, I get cops called on me. How'd that go for you?
It went fantastic. No cop calling yet. Knock on the wooden bench here. I do know they show up probably within the next hour here to close the bathroom, so I might break down before then. But infed half wire strung up 10 feet off the ground, and I worked Australia, Philippines, and a lot of Canada's today.
Holy crap! What a great location you got. That's awesome. All right, well, go for your question. I'm happy to try and help if I can.
Oh, that was on 10 meters too.
Oh, nice! On a wire?
Yeah. Yeah, just infed half-life. The PAR infed's 10 through 80 junior. It's 76 feet of wire. So my question,
Dude, all right.
I have 2 radios that I use for WinLink. Well, try to use for WinLink. I have my main radio, which is usually hooked up to COM port 15. The second radio that I have is hooked up to COM port 5. Now, I've changed all the settings, and I've gotten the speaker and the microphone all set up. But when I go to connect to a station, the magical WinLink tones don't go out, and it doesn't key the radio. So the question is, where do you think I should start looking? COM port's accurate, microphone's accurate, speakers are
Which
accurate.
radio is it? Which radio is it?
The FT710. VARA HF is hearing audio. It is not sending audio, though.
It's hearing the audio, but it's not sending the audio.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so I'm not going to tell you this is the solution, but I had this exact same problem when I was on San Clemente Island, and you know what the solution was? Full factory reset of the radio. It's
Reset the radio.
Factory reset the radio. Completely dumb, but it ended up being the solution. I went back and double-checked, triple-checked everything. The cat control to port configuration was spot on. The audio interface was perfect. The bit rate, make sure the bit rate is good. If everything matches and you're still just like it's just not working, factory reset the radio.
I just hit factory reset on everything, so let me try connecting to it again.
I don't know that's going to be the solution, but that's exactly the problem I had on the 710. And I was so pissed. And then the owner of it's like, let's just do the factory reset. And I was like, there's got to be an easier way. He's like, let's just do it. And then sure enough, that was it.
All right, I'm reopening WinLink, so give me a minute.
It's never my go-to on an ICOM, by the way. I'm not doing an ICOM versus Yaesu thing here, but I only recommend the factory reset for the Yaesu, and that's there's nothing wrong with doing it on them.
Nope, that didn't do it because I see VARA trying to transmit, and the radio's not keying up. And yes, there's enough power.
Are you sure? Oh, so for VARA, have you gone through all the menu options and you set your ALC and all? So you can't key the radio though. So you've got to go back into the WinLink side of it and make sure you set all those connections too, right?
Yeah, they're all preset. The only thing that changed is the radio that I have hooked up. I went from the 450D to the 710, and so I just changed it to what the 710 is supposed to be and the proper COM port, baud rate. The PTT port is optional, so that's fine. So all of that's good in the WinLink settings, but VARA, when I sound card, it's connected to the USB audio device input and output, but it just doesn't want to do anything.
So Matt in the chat says the 710 doesn't like 48,000 hertz. It has to be 44,100 hertz if it's not working. I don't understand the context of that comment, because we're talking about like cat control stuff right now. So I'm missing that.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to jump out for about 30 seconds, but I'll be back.
Okay. So we've gotten to the point now at this point with digital modes and all kinds of other stuff with radio connections that it's like a two-step process. You connect the USB to your radio to your computer, and that's your CAT control, the computer assisted terminal control. That changes your frequency, it allows you to PTT, it does all that other stuff. And then there's a sound card option, and the sound card option is the audio in and the audio out. All of that is pretty well understood at this point. So I'm not sure exactly what the issue is. We got to figure out the cat control first, and usually the audio is easier after that point. But we'll go from there. And Mike just dropped a picture of his UV3R, which is the rare Baofeng. That's how you really know you got a high quality rare Baofeng there, if you've got the UV3R. The yellow one. I don't have the yellow one. I have a red one, a red and a black one. But right on.
$5.
Was it really? Oh, wow.
Well, he was asking 10 at the Houston Ham Fest. He said the battery didn't work. I said, I'll give you 5. He said, sold. And then I found 2 batteries at the Ham Fest for $1 each. So I'm $7 into that radio.
Nice.
Yeah,
they're
that's how
actually
I
pretty
roll.
good radios. They're very easy to use.
Dude, I like it. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. I'm literally all about small radios wherever I can like get them going. Because like, why carry more if you can do the same with less?
Can you though? Is it my turn? I don't want to step on anyone.
No, yeah, we'll come back to it. I will do one thing because somebody said they wanted to see my digital setup. I guess they missed that at the end of the live stream. I'm gonna do this really fast, and then I'm gonna move on. My small radio digital setup is this bag. There's space at the top that I cram a K6ARK end-fed in, but it is 2 wires. Actually, 2 wires, a GPS dongle, and then this QDX Mini. And yes, I do rock the QDX Mini and the Talent Cell battery that is off of Amazon. And this is the whole unit right there. I run that. This will run for about a day and a half to 2 days on HF. This will do, it depends on which one I'm running. I'm assuming this is the low frequency one, but there's a low frequency and high frequency QDX. I have both. So it depends on what day, what camp out I'm going on or whatever. But I like to run this in camp, and it just runs in the background on JSA call while I'm doing camp stuff, having fun. Run on low power, and the laptop I use is the sometimes, not always. I'm often taking the cheap Jenkopotamus round 2, but the GPD Pocket 2 I sometimes will take. I brought it out today because it's small.
Is the bag pulling those feet off?
Something is. Those feet are not very good. I did not like those feet that came with that radio. But
yeah, sometimes you got to be careful with those because they'll leave a sticky residue and then it'll get on the inside of the bag.
My bag is the Tom Bin. I don't even know what tiny bag. I don't even know, but that's what goes into a ton of my gear.
And you didn't get the orange one?
I do have most of the Tom Bin stuff in orange and high vis, but I really like that purple color. So, I don't know. All right. Let's see. What am I missing? Something's wrong. My audio is all screwed up here with my radio. So, let's go ahead and go down to our next YouTuber. Now is the time. I think. Wait. No, I take that back. K6ARK is actually here. I forgot about Adam. How you doing, man?
I am doing well. I'm mobile right now. How copy?
We're copying you. How you been? What have you been up to?
Very good. Well, I was out on a soda summit today. Today was the Arizona 10-Point Madness event, and there were a bunch of stations on Arizona 10-Point Summits, and a few other events were coordinated in conjunction. And I really like to try to work long-distance 2-meter during this event. And in a nutshell, today was a little bit of a bust on 2 meters. I think because of the high pressure and the real dry air, we just aren't getting any kind of tropoducting at all out to Arizona. So I made one long-distance contact, probably 250, maybe 300 miles. And it was an interesting one because we weren't able to make it happen on FM. We weren't even able to hear each other at all. And mind you, we were each running for 6-element Yagi and 100 watts. We switched to sideband and made the contact, but marginally, just barely got enough information across. And then we switched to CW, and it was easy. So that was a really cool example of just the power of CW and how awesome it can be in marginal conditions. So,
Absolutely.
That was a fun day. I also did a bunch of summit to summit activity with other soda activators, and I tried out a new antenna. I almost didn't even set it up because I kind of wanted to head down the hill, but I set up a 15-meter Moxon that I built.
Oh.
It's the one from San Clemente that I think I briefly showed you, but we never set up.
Yeah.
And it weighs about 2.5 pounds. Combine that with a Gigadude 25-foot mast, and you've got like maybe a 6 or 7 pound system with a rotator. And had a little bit of a brain fart, forgot which way a Moxon points. So I worked a station in Japan, a regular chaser in Japan, JG0AWE, and he gave me a 4-4 signal report. And then I turned the antenna around, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're 5'7" to 5'9". So yeah, a little brain fart moment there, pointing the Moxon the wrong way. But antenna worked great, and it was tough keeping the California QSO party contesters at bay. They hear that call, and they were just attacking me.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. Well, that's very good. Feel free to hang out. I'm sure I don't know if you heard me at all on my, did you see my True SDX portion of the live stream, Adam?
I did not. No, I wasn't able to see that, but it sounds like the new firmware has maybe improved on some of the noise issues, the internally generated noise issues or something. So I really want to try that out. I'm going to have to do that.
I think it has. I think it has in a big way. To a point where I was like borderline, I cannot use this radio, and then I turned it on, and I was like, wow, I was shocked. I was using it in CW the last 2 days after I did the update. I didn't really do it on single sideband. I figured I'd do it live on the show, and I just wanted to make sure it was working. I was shocked how well it performed. It was really, really good.
Well, very cool. I'll be listening.
Very good. We're losing you a little bit there. You're probably driving through the canyon, but when you get back up on the air, we'll hear you. If you have any add input, feel free to hop back in. There's a name I want to touch base with real quick. James Hannibal, Quirky QRP, man. How you doing, sir? Did you see the beginning of my live stream?
Hey, Josh. No, I didn't get a chance. Had some work to get done, but I'm just playing FT8 right now.
I dragged out the old QRP keychain and was doing a little CW in the beginning of the show.
I saw that on the thumbnail, and I'm looking forward to watching that on my instant replay.
What was really fun, but also really sad was right before I went live. It was part of the reason why I was late to get started a couple of minutes. I was on an SDR in Utah, and I was transmitting with the keychain, hearing myself on the SDR, and I'm like, okay, I got to get started. I got to go. And I checked one more time, and I didn't hear myself, and I jumped around to a couple SDRs to see, and it just, the band changed. I couldn't hear myself on it anymore, and I was super bummed out. But yeah, I was getting all the way into Colorado and Utah with that keychain QRP radio.
That's awesome. Yeah, I still get people asking me to make them again, and I'll get around to it at some point.
Yeah, I think that people are into it. I don't know if you're down for it, but if you get back into it, I'm sure you'll sell all of them. So right on. Well, I'm glad you're in there with us. Okay, let's hop on down to one K8MRD ham radio tube. How's it going, man?
Oh, is it my turn now?
It's your turn. Let's do it. Let's do this thing.
I only have I did so much today, but I only have comments about the previous 2 or 3 YouTubers. First one, K6ARK. I left Louisiana at about 2:30 Central today to drive back home to Tejas, and my ham alert was absolutely blowing up with K6ARK alerts. Now, I would doubt I'd be able to hear him mobile with my ATOS. I'm sure he was running like 0.1 milliwatts, but I'm like, damn, I know he's doing CW, and I know there's guys that drive down the road doing CW. So, Adam, I see you spotted. I was there with you in spirit, but wasn't going to happen. But we have each other in the logs on CW anyway.
Do you? You got him? Good. So you've been doing some CW, I've heard, right?
Oh, Adam and I go back to the JerryNet days.
Oh, that far. Okay.
With Adam Dennis. Yeah.
With Adam Dennis. Adam Dennis.
Yeah. With Denko.
Denko,
Actually, I mean, we all kind of came up with the name Denko together. But my other comment to Scott, Ham Radio for Non-Techies, he didn't tell us. He said he was getting a new job. I'm sure it's not too soon anymore, but I have to ask, is the new job a crash test dummy?
Ha! Well, it should be, I guess, but no.
I'm sorry, I had to go there.
Yeah.
But it is a lot more technical than ham radio, if you can believe that.
Really?
Nice. Well, Scott's a pretty smart guy.
Oh, I'm not, but more than ham radio. So now I'm curious what it is that he's getting into.
It's just day trading.
Your new career is personal day trading?
Yeah.
And your
I got
wife
a buddy
was
that
like,
does that. He
your
does
wife was
okay.
like, yeah, go nuts.
Yeah.
You got a supportive wife, man. Good for you.
Absolutely.
My wife would be like, kick my
Here's
ass.
$4.
Yeah,
Don't spend it all at once.
I wish it was that easy. No, there's a lot of technical stuff that goes involved with it. I'm actually in a school learning about it every day for like 5 hours a day.
That's what my father-in-law does, in addition to all the other stuff he does. And man, it's volatile. Hey, 20 meters just opened up.
You do still have Crash Test Dummy as a fallback.
Always. I'm really good at it too. Twice so far.
Yeah. Throw that on your resume. So yes, good. So I had to razz those guys. I just wanted to razz Scott and say that I saw Adam. But yeah, so we did 1,000-watt POTA activation today.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Side Boom. A lot of you guys know Side Boom from the chats. Side Boom just got down.
I am familiar with the boom. Yeah.
Because I just got down.
Oh, look at that. So we had I woke up at 5 this morning, left at 6, got there about 9. The plan was to get on the air by about 10-ish, and then that didn't happen. So we had to let's just say we had some trials and tribulations, but we had some. I mean, if you want to see some redneck engineering, go to Louisiana.
Oh, sure.
It's all on film. I'll be editing the video in the next couple of days. It'll probably be out either Wednesday or Friday. I'm not sure. There's a lot of stuff to go through. But we ended up doing. Ryan and I had been planning this for, at least a year, because he only lives like 3 hours from me. 3 hours, like for Texas, is nothing. That's just like, that's down the street, right?
Right.
I mean, if I go to Scott lives an hour and a half from me, and it's like, it's no big deal. And Jason's like, Jason and Frank, they're up in Dallas. That's like 3 hours. No big deal. It doesn't matter. Unless they live in like El Paso, then screw you.
Yeah, there was a TikTok I watched that what British people don't understand about Americans is that when we talk about distances, we talk about time. Because it's not about the mileage anymore, because mileage is totally irrelevant. Because an hour-long drive from me into LA, I could be like 20 miles. But an hour-long drive, if I'm going east, that could be like 80 miles, 100 miles even, depending on how good conditions are. And then I'm assuming in Texas, you can even move faster than that.
Oh, we drive fast. So, the funny thing is, we actually can drive faster on the backcountry roads than we can on the freeways. Like I'm talking 90 miles an hour on the backcountry roads, where like the freeways and the speed limits on the backcountry roads are like 75 a lot of times. And on the freeways, they're 75 or 70 or 65. Like we drive. You have to drive fast here in Texas. I mean, we drive fast in Detroit too. I mean, we made the cars. We invented road rage in Detroit. You're welcome. But Texas is like a whole other thing. Yeah. Well, we make the cars. We make the road rage. Everything that comes with it. So it's Detroit. Go Red Wings. So we finally got to do this POTA activation with this amplifier that Side Boom has. This 1,000-watt HF amplifier, multi-band HF sensing. Like, you just put it on the band. You don't need to tune it. It's solid state. It just goes, or it's supposed to. So we when I say we, I mean we figured out a way to get it to work. And I don't want to spoil too much, but my God, it was a beautiful day. It was a little chilly. It was in the low 70s, a lot of wind. But we had an amazing time, absolutely amazing time. I'll split a little bit. I don't know what the other guys got. I got 100 contacts in 51 minutes.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, just huge pileups and beautiful scenery. It was a beautiful park, beautiful.
So I don't know if you mentioned it, but the antenna. What was the antenna you're running? I think I know.
The antenna was the Buddy Hex.
Oh.
So we're running 1,000 watts.
Yeah.
So we had a 7300 into the 1,000 watt amplifier with ABR 400 Ultraflex, which so LMR 400 Ultraflex into the Buddy Hex. So now when they were activating, I think I went last.
Mm-hmm.
They had the beam pointing east. So when I got on the air, it was pointed. It was pretty east, but I'm like, hey, let's point it. I think I had it pointed like east and then north and then northwest. So I want to get out a little bit, but like the signal reports that I was getting were just insane. So. That was my first time ever using an amplifier. I've only done 100 watts or less, ever. So,
really? Oh, you've never ran an amplifier in POTA before?
No, well, unless you count like the Zygo amplifier or that.
No, I mean like over 100. Like, over 100.
No, never done over 100.
Really?
Never, ever. In any scenario ever, I've never done over 100 watts. So that was.
I imagine 100 contacts in 50 minutes is probably not the fastest you've ever gotten that high a count, right? Is that the fastest?
It's up there.
Okay.
The bands were a little up and down, and I did slow down to get the park to parks, get the I asked a few times during the activation for like QRP stations, mobile stations, that kind of thing, which is actually rare for me. I don't usually do that. But a lot of QRP stations were just actually coming through. I had a ginormous pile up, and I could hear the guys that were saying just, you hear that QRP. So if you're QRP, dude, there's no shame in saying your call sign in QRP. If I can hear you and you're QRP, do it. Say QRP.
You say you don't call out often on that, but it was because you called out for QRP that I was able to get through that one weird time that I was on those football bleachers
That's true.
We made a contact on the KX2 and the AX1 antenna, which is like super compromised, and it was because you called for QRP.
And the interesting thing is, I like 99% of the time I don't stop and say, hey, are there like mobile or QRP stations? It's just go.
Yeah.
But I heard so many QRP stations, it just kind of, and I say, it could have been two, but I heard enough people just saying QRP today.
Yeah. Really?
Made me,
I love it.
Okay, yeah. It made me think, all right, and this pileup, dude, was ginormous. The video is going to be so edited down, and you're only going to see like 1% like the activation. But
right,
I'll try and throw in like some of the bigger pileups if I can sit through the hour-long footage. But dude, it was nuts. Like I couldn't. I mean, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at camera, I'm looking at everybody else. Like, who did you hear? Like you can't make out a single person. It was that thick. So just being able to hear a couple people say QRP. That made me just cognizantly. I was like, all right, dude, I gotta pause a couple times and just slow the pile up down. All right, let's get these QRP guys, and they were coming in great. And I'm sure that was due to the hex beam.
Yeah,
that just kind of pointed in their direction. That might have helped, but who knows? I was gonna set up the DX Commander too, but we weren't on the air as long as we wanted to because we had we had to fix things before we got on the air.
Right.
But we made it work. It was a freaking blast, dude. It was
That's
so
awesome.
great. So awesome.
So
did you guys take out a second mortgage on those 2 batteries you were using?
No. Those were generously donated by BioNO.
Which 100 amp hour?
Maybe a little more.
Okay. I know what you're talking about. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So
yeah.
I was talking with Kevin at BioNO at Dayton, and I was telling because Ryan and I had been talking about this for a while. I'm like, I was talking to Kevin, and it just came up like, dude, we're like trying to do 1,000-watt POTA activation.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just realized the importance of this. You ran the amp off the battery.
Yes, the entire activation was battery power.
Okay, see that's important.
Actually,
you gotta
the
lead
radio.
with you got to lead with that. That's big.
The amplifier was run off of battery.
That the amplifier running off of that is huge.
Yeah, yeah. So 2 300 amp hour BioNOs in parallel.
Okay, I mean, my truck did it. It's all batteries in my truck, but the having batteries to be able to run that, I love that. That's amazing.
But the difference between me and you, Josh, you just drove there and put the amp on your tailgate.
That's right.
We had to haul those big bastard batteries like 100 feet to the park bench. They're 78 pounds each.
I will tell you, I've not had a better experience doing POTA since I bought that truck. Every POTA I've done has just been magic. It doesn't matter, even if it's 100 watts, it's magic. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And honestly, you don't really need much more than 100 watts, but gosh darn, that was fun.
Because my cycle rate, my Q rate on 10 meters, when I had the 25-foot mast with the delta loop on top, I was totally rocking. Got to 100 QSOs in little over an hour. That was insane. I've never experienced something like that before. It's amazing.
Nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Awesome. Man, Mike, I'm super excited. Yeah, I know, right? It's highly recommended that you have a portable amplifier. I love it.
Yes.
I
totally fits with today's theme.
Oh yeah.
So you take the little true SDX. What does that weigh? Like a gram?
A gram. Yeah.
And
like
then you take 156 pound batteries.
That's right.
No problem.
And you have like 3 step-up amps just to get to the power output that you need to be able to drive the large amp.
Well, you got to bring the step IR too.
Well, of course.
But the radio itself
is really tiny. It's really small.
That's why the radios are so small, because everything else is so big.
So I want to go back to questions for people that are watching. But Mike, you said you got some beef. Beef's probably the wrong word, but on small radios. So what's the problem with small radios, Mike?
Oh, well, it's not that I have beef. I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
But and I will give a pass to that. What's that little 20-watt one? The F.
Yeah, the FX4C.
Whatever.
Yeah, the FX4C.
Dude, that thing is tight.
Oh yeah,
I saw that at somebody had that at Huntsville, and I got to I didn't operate with it, but I got to hold it in my hand.
It's like somebody took a KS2 and chopped like a third of it off of it.
Well, it's like a G90 because it's got that little screen.
It does have 20 watts. Too. That's true. Yeah.
It doesn't have the tuner, but I don't care about a tuner. I legit do not care about a tuner. I'm like, this thing is freaking awesome. But how much is that? That's like $600.
Yeah.
So,
it's half the price of a KX2 from what I've seen.
My thing is all these radios are neat, and I did not buy the true SDX when you had it on your webpage. I already spent $150 on that tiny
SA?
Tiny SA.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I got that. I have no idea how to use it, but you spent my money. I'm like, I don't need any more money.
If you need help, give me a call. You know who to call if you need help.
You know I do.
You call Smoking Ape. You call Smoking Ape.
Steve was here. KM9G. He and KM9G and I did a POTA last weekend or the weekend before.
Steve was in Texas?
He is in Texas right now. He's in Livingston. He's an hour east of me.
Oh my God.
So he and I did a POTA. Yeah, he and I did a POTA. I took him to Buc-ee's for the first time, and then we ended up back at my place. He dropped me off, and I'm like, "Here's the tiny SA, and here's what it's doing." And I bought everything through your. I bought everything. Well, no, I bought the SA through R&L.
Yeah.
But I bought that attenuator through your affiliate link.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not working right for me. And I'm showing him, and he's like, I don't know. So I gotta call Ape.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What's wrong?
So I'm keying up. I'm trying to check for spurious emissions, right?
Yeah.
So you key up, and it shows all these spurious emissions, and you just hold it because I'm sweeping like from like 140 megahertz all the way up to, let's say, 3,000, right?
Okay, but that's probably way too many megahertz. You don't need that much space.
But okay, so you key up, and it shows all the spurious emissions.
Mhm.
So there's like 5 of them, right?
Yep.
And then you keep holding the PTT because it takes a long time to cycle through, right? Every time it cycles through,
so the reason why it's taking
one.
the reason why it's taking so long is because you have the bandwidth so wide.
I know that.
So you
That's not
don't
the
need
point.
the bandwidth so wide. You don't need
That's
it that
the
wide.
point. You do, because if you're checking harmonics, it's every other double or every other third.
You don't need to. Well, okay, so you don't need to go
So
down that wide.
144 megahertz is 288.
Yeah.
And then 500 and what is it? 26 or something, whatever.
Do you have maxed hold turned on?
Maybe not. But what was happening is as I'm holding it down, I don't know. We're not going to diagnose this tonight. This is not
We're not.
KMRD diagnostics.
Call me
right?
Call me tomorrow.
So, but what was happening is I'm holding down the PTT, and all the spurious emissions would show initially, but they would all drop off every single, like one by one, they would drop off every time it swept.
Yeah, so that's why you turn on max hold, and it's going to hold the
Okay.
highest signal intensity for that test point, right? So that's where the spurs get held at. So it's gonna climb, and it's gonna reach the high point, and then that's where it stops, and then that's the freeze spot, and then you can let go of the PTT. You hold it for like 5 seconds. It'll take a test. You let go, and then there's all your spurs. I can show you how to do that. Yeah, it's not hard.
Gotcha. No, I think I know what you're talking about.
It's under the measure. It's under the measure.
Yeah.
It's under.
I'll watch
measure.
a Smoking Ape video.
Yeah, go watch him. Don't go watch my video that I just turned out.
The good thing is that I have your phone number and the Smoking Ape's phone number. So maybe we'll conference call.
If you
we'll
can't get
FaceTime
this right
call.
between both of us, then you're screwed.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's it. This video is going to be. I got a lot of B-roll too. I'm really excited to edit this video.
B-roll's the
Dude,
best.
it was such. I saw a freaking snake in the water.
Snake in the water.
And I was using my selfie stick when I just went out and take a bunch of B-roll, and it extends like 4 or 5 feet. So literally, like, my camera is in the water, and this snake just comes right up to the lens. It's freaking awesome. So
that's awesome.
I love editing. I'm really excited to edit this video.
Well, all right.
I gotta
Very
make
good.
a comment on that, though.
I heard a comment. Go ahead, comment.
I gotta make a correction on Mike. That wasn't 400 Ultra Flex. That was ABR's 400 Ultra Kink coax.
Oh, that's
ABR.
definitely going to be in the Ryan. All of the beginning, like the first, all the setup, that's all going to be in there. So Ryan got this never unrolled 100-foot roll of ABR 400 Ultra Flex. And instead of unrolling it the way a normal person would do, he said, "Here, you guy, grab this end, and then I'm going to run with this end." And there was like 100 kinks in this beautiful, beautiful coax. So,
so you're implying because it's ABR, the kinks were there because it was ABR.
No. That ABR Ford Ultraflex is probably the most flexible 400 type coax I've ever held in my hands.
Oh, really? Okay.
It is amazingly relaxed. Messi and Poloni's stuff is not that flexible. It's a completely different jacket. ABR's stuff is like, it's just so relaxed and so easy to use.
Messi and Poloni's rolling around like a leather jacket. And it's like, hey, who you? Who you right now?
Yeah.
Who you talking to me right now about getting on your radio?
But so the
I'm gonna
way
get on
they
your radio
coil
my
coax,
time. I'm all kinked up. I'm all upset.
You can't take if you roll up coax.
Yes.
Like take like an electric cord winder and roll it up, right?
Yeah. Well, that's literally what he's selling, though. He's selling a winder that adds memory to it.
No. That's how every coaxial cable, every wire you'll ever buy, it's rolled up.
I know, but the first thing we do is unwind it and then rewrap it the right way.
You unroll it.
Yeah, well, you completely get the kinks out.
Ryan did not do that. Ryan did not unroll it. He just ran with it as if it were already coiled up in the over-under method.
Oh, no. So did you kink it?
Yeah.
Did you get a hot kink?
Oh, my God. Every 4 feet, they're kink.
Like a hard pull.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, that's so. If there was a cringe, actually, I should make a video that's just like 30 seconds where I take a piece of coax and it's looped and I just pull it really hard and it just tacos it. That's like a cringe video for ham radio.
I should make a short out of it.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't
do that.
I didn't actually record them.
You should.
Didn't get
oh my
them
God, you
actually
should.
doing it. I got immediately after they did it, and I'm like I'm filming something else, and then I'm like, wait a minute, and I said, here's what's not to do with coax, and I
for
showed
sure.
It's dirty. It's dirty, guys. Take care of your coax. Do not kink your coax. It's so bad for it.
I know that there's probably
I'm just full of content.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Sorry, I was cutting you off.
I'm just saying, I'm full of content that I didn't even know was possible, but you know.
I know that there's probably a billion coax videos, but I should probably make a coax video now. I don't think I've made one. Do you know that? In the entirety? I've never really talked about coax.
Well, I mean, you might as well jump on the bandwagon because I started it. Much like the linked end-fed half-wave.
Much like me starting the POTA amplifier trend that everybody's doing now.
You didn't start that.
I did.
Ryan
yes,
and I,
did.
like I
yes,
said, Ryan and I have been talking about this for at least a year. At least a year. You may have been the first to post a video. Doesn't mean you were the first to have the idea, buddy.
I love the thought crime. You're getting me on thought crime now.
I'm the first one to start posting POTA videos in general, so you can suck it.
Oh my God. So there's always a thing that enters my mind when I'm thinking, like, as a YouTuber, I'm like, am I the first one that did this? I think I am the first one that did this. And again, I will say, like, to be honest, I've made a lot of videos and I was there for a lot of people. So then I turn around and go, like, does it really matter? Like, am I going to get something by, like, saying, oh, I did this first?
Nothing.
All you do is sound like a jerk. You just sound like an asshole. That's all you sound like.
I am an asshole. That's how I talk. That's my speech impediment.
But, like, as probably one of the higher subscribed to and viewed YouTube channels, if I made, like, my entire channel, like, I did that first. I was the first one that did that. Why are you doing that? Like, that would be horrible. That would be a mess. I would never do that.
I don't look at it that way.
I love it.
I don't look at it that way.
No, but
I love that
other people are doing cool things.
I did something, and then, like, so many other people are doing that now. Like, it's more like I had some small impact on some small positive impact on the world. Is how I really see it.
So I will. I'll tell you.
Unless it's Jason, then I'll break his balls.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So you know what? I'll say this is a little inside baseball. Jason breaks everybody's balls. Like, that's Jason's thing.
Yes.
And Mike and I have noticed a trend that Jason will sometimes make a video based on other people's videos that already existed. So we will sometimes, like, needle him as well for copying some ideas.
To be fair, he will openly admit that.
Oh, yeah. No, he'll be like, oh, yeah, it views really good, so why would I not make a video on it?
Yeah.
I'm a true capitalist.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Yes, all right.
And we love him for it.
Yeah. But, yeah, he breaks a lot of balls. He does. That's his big thing.
Yes.
God, what? There was something else I was going to mention. Oh, yeah, so I did a video today. Guys, I want to tell you something about spurious emissions. Did you know that if you have a really dirty radio, it just transmits on that frequency, and you can, like, measure it for signal intensity, and you can go away from your house and test it for capabilities of how far you're spuriously transmitting? It's a thing you can do, and that's what I did today. It was really fun.
Wait, say that again?
So, take a handheld, like my spurious box, not my talk box, talk pod.
Get the clear talk pod.
My spurious
there
pod.
You go.
My spurious pod.
Yeah.
So if you so you go look up what the second harmonic is on this, and you tune up your SDR to it to set to record, and then you record everything it hears, and then you just keep going further away from your house transmitting on this until you can't hear it anymore. And it's kind of far. It's really far, actually.
So you're really working split in like the 250
Oh yeah.
megahertz.
You're literally yeah. You're split. You're not only split in 200, but you're all the way up in like 400 too. And you're probably
Nice.
up into 400. You're probably like one S unit,
He's up 500.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's wild. I did the test and I'm like, wait, I'm still hearing myself. Nuts.
Hey, Josh.
Mhm.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had somebody that saw one of my posts walk up and talk about stuff here in the park. Can I get back to the WinLink now, or is this a bad time?
No, go ahead. I mean, we can try, but I don't know how much we're going to be able to fix it.
Okay, so let me just run through my settings real quick just to see what people might think. So in WinLink settings, because they don't have the FT710 yet, you have to use the FT991 alpha.
Okay.
It's set to USB digital.
Okay.
The serial port is selected to the correct COM port.
And you're sure it's the correct one, right? You're sure it's correct?
Yeah. Yes, I'm positive. There's only 2 ports showing currently, 5 and 6.
Okay.
And 5 is what JTDX has been using for FT8. So it has to be correct. Baud rate's correct. Enable RTS and DTR are selected. And then in VARA,
wait.
the sound,
Why do you need that?
it was set to use it, so I just turned it on.
RTS? That's a serial connection. I would turn that off to default or off.
Okay, let me default that to off. And DTR. Okay,
and
so that's
by the way, whatever you're doing right now, like settings wise in WSJTX, take a snipe copy of that and drop it into Discord. Like copy paste it into Discord so I can see it. Like
I don't have internet on. I don't have internet on the laptop right now.
Oh,
I'm out at the park still.
Okay, all right. We'll do our best.
And then, so on VARA, the sound card is set to the device input set to the microphone for the radio. The device output is set to the speakers for the radio, like it's supposed to be.
Okay.
But when I hit tune, the radio doesn't key up. And then when I try and connect to a station that I know I can connect to, I see VARA putting stuff out, but the radio is not keying up at all.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, VARA does not work. VARA bypasses the PTT, the CAT, to WinLink. So you have to go back to the WinLink app that you opened up for the terminal page and go into the settings for that and set the CAT control. I think.
Okay, so the radio control port is set. The PTT port, which is optional, I've never had to use that.
Absolutely have to set that.
Okay, let me set that to the other COM port.
Yeah, match it, make it the same.
I'll make it the same. Okay, let me do that real quick once WinLink comes back up. Because every time you exit settings, it redoes the thing.
Well, once you lock it in, you're going to be good. You're going to be all set for here on out.
I would hope so. I do know that WinLink with the radio is working because I'm able to go through the different stations and pick them out, and it changes the frequency on the radio. So I do know that's working. So let me change it to COM5 here.
Go for it. Jake Demerit, I passed my tech today because of your videos. Huge thanks for this content, and hopefully you can keep this great content coming. Well, thank you so much, Jake. I appreciate that. And I hope to do so. I'm looking up at the precipice of the general license video that I should be making right now, but I haven't done it, and I really need to do it, but I have not. And so cheers to you. I appreciate that. And yes, I do want to make a general video, but that's a whole thing.
Okay, that did not work. I have the COM port set the same, and they're all set the same, and I do know that my baud rate is the 38400 BPS, so I know that's. So I guess this is going to be. I'll take screenshots when I get back to the house, and I'll send them to you in Discord, Josh.
You've done this before, though, right, Frank?
Oh
You've set
yeah,
this up
yeah,
before.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I
what is it that you? I mean, there's nothing you've not done. Like I'm talking to somebody that I
right.
know has troubleshooted other people's stuff, so I don't think that I can add anything to what you're doing. I don't have like secret sauce on this one. Like it should
Yeah.
be very straightforward. The fact it's not working is frustrating. I mean, dumb question. You reset the computer, right?
Oh yeah, that's been rebooted a couple times.
Yeah. I there's something else going on, man.
The only difference between the two radios, one of them's on COM 15 when I use it, and this one's on COM 5. That's the only thing that changes because they're two different radios.
But it shouldn't matter. It's still just the connection for whatever is you're using on WSJTX or WinLink or whatever. Like you point it to the thing you're going to use. It doesn't matter what radio you're on. The other thing you can do is just like disconnect everything, shut everything off completely, radio and computer. Bring the radio up first, then bring up the computer and connect everything.
Well, that's going to take longer than I have here at the park, so I'll have to do that when I get back to the house, and I'm going to start packing up, so I'll be listening. So thank you.
Okay, I'm going to do one more shot. K2NUT. Make the contact or stop bugging me. You've been trying to make an FT8 contact for like 30 minutes. You're responding, I'm negative 35. I'm responding that you're +1. Your ears are trash. If you can't hear me, if you're coming back at I'm negative 14, but to me you're +1, your antenna is really good, but your receiver is trash because you got too much noise or some other BS. Literally, look at this guy. He's not responding. So either one of two things is happening. One, he's doing it on purpose, or two, his radio's trash because he's got too much noise. He's a crocodile. He's a crocodile. If I'm hearing him at a +1, he's saying I'm a negative 14. Either his noise floor is through the roof and he can't hear me, or he's like I don't even know what to say. This guy's a troll. Stop bugging me, man. How do I block you? Can I right click and block? How do I block you? Oh my god. All right, I got to take a minute. I got to run to the restroom really fast. I really do. And what I want to do, I'm going to come back. So Mike's still in the house. I want to do so you want to get started in POTA. Like 30 minutes. I want a quick little, internal group discussion on all the smart people we have here, like your top picks, your top ideas on getting started in POTA. That's kind of what I want to do. So I'll be right back. Enjoy the memes. And give me a minute.
Do you mind if I get a comment really quick with Mike?
Calling K8MRD, white courtesy phone. K8MRD, white courtesy phone.
All right. Hey, I just wanted to say thank you for doing that earlier today. I was one of the QRP stations that I was able to get down to you today.
I think K-Murder left the room.
Yeah, well, he's here. He's muted, and I think he stepped away from a little bit.
Ah, well, yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie, because like I just got a new...
Hang on. Sometimes K8MRD needs to K8MRP. What was? Go ahead. I have in-ear monitors, so when I leave, I still hear everything. But what were you saying?
I was just saying thank you for like stopping your pile up to call on QRP, because I was one of the QRP guys today.
Oh, dude, yes, heck yes, thank you so much. And it's so funny because I have more ammo for my next Sad Hams video.
Oh no!
I don't want to spoil too much, but Sideboo posted that we were doing a 1,000-watt activation on Facebook. I don't know why anybody is on Facebook. But somebody was like, why would you guys do a 1,000-watt activation? You're just drowning out the QRP activators and all that. And I'm thinking, well, how does our transmit drown out when we're listening for the QRP activators?
Is
I
Nut
worked a
done?
lot
You
of
done with Nut?
QRP stations today,
You Nut.
and
Go packing.
I'm glad that you were one of them. So
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
was, I was also a park to park for you too.
Yes, it's all logged, dude. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, there was a lot of QRP stations that I worked today.
So was Frank running the same frequency as you, Mike? Because I went looking for you. I went looking for you, and I got Mike. I got Frank instead of you.
Yeah,
Frank
I'm
was
sorry.
coming in, he was stomping like hard.
Tank?
5'9".
Like Tank Frank?
Tank,
Yeah.
yeah. No, Tank. He was on the same frequency on a different park.
Let me clarify. Frank texted me, and he asked what frequency I was on. And in the pileup, as I'm working and logging and all that, I still managed to text Frank back the frequency I was on. It was at the very end of my activation. So once I went QRT, he took the frequency.
Okay.
So no, he did.
I worked.
Frank,
I
Frank
did.
was
I
not
did.
stepping on
Did
me.
he call you to actually coordinate that?
I did work.
No.
So
Frank texted me while I was on the air. I don't know at what point, but at some point, it's in the 51 minutes that I was on the air, Frank texted me to ask what frequency I was on. Now, why you wouldn't just go to POTA.app and find that is beyond me, but it's Frank. So there you go. So I texted him back while I'm operating. I actually I should make that a short. Like, I'm texting Frank while operating and logging. And mind you, we have to use our left hand to PTT the mic, and we have to use our left foot to PTT the amplifier. Yeah.
What?
So,
What?
That's all going to be in the video. Yep, it's all going to be in the video.
So wait,
so I'm doing all this.
drummer instead of a guitarist.
Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's all in the video. It's all in the video.
Yes.
It's all in the video.
All right.
That's why.
So he had to clutch. He had to clutch shift his amp. His amp had a clutch.
Just wait for the video. Just wait for the video.
He had a suicide shift on his
Wait
amp.
for the video to see the Louisiana redneck radio that we did today. I'm telling you, man. Most of this video is going to be before we got on the air because it was just that much fun. So anyway, Frank texted me and asked what frequency I was on. He texted me back. I responded to him. During my pileup, he couldn't hear me, so whatever. And then after I was done, he went ahead and took the frequency, which is fine. Nobody cares.
Yeah, why not?
That's a thing we do. No big deal.
The funny thing was you were still getting spotted up on POTA spot during that time, so it was still showing you as active.
Oh well, I can't help that. I mean, people, dude. Somebody worked me like halfway through my pileup and thought I was Whiskey Echo 4 Delta X-Ray. Because people don't listen. You have to listen.
Do you even heel toe?
Do not call. Do not throw your call sign out unless you are sure what the operator's call sign is. And it didn't. It happened probably twice today. They're like, "What's your call sign?" I'm like, "Why are you even calling me if you don't know my call sign?" But somebody thought because Whiskey Echo 4 Delta X-Ray, which is the Ham Radio Adventures Club, they were running too, trying to get I'm with them. I'm a member of the club. But some guys were running as We4DX. I was running as KMRD. So We4DX was still spotted. I just hopped on the radio and just said, "All right, new operator," and I'm gone. I didn't even have a chance to spot myself because the pileup was so hot. I didn't want to lose the frequency. I didn't want to... And I'm using the Jankopotamus, dude. Opening up Chrome is that's 30 seconds, man. And then to spot yourself, it's a whole thing. I'm like, screw it. It's KMRD. Let's go.
I can't get over. Do you even double clutch your amp? I'm dying. I'm dying.
Gosh, you have no idea. I hope you're in tears when you see what we have done.
I'm dying, man. I'm dying.
Side boom, don't say anything, man. Don't say anything. Don't give it away. The viewers gotta watch.
Oh my god.
It is the most ghetto How do we want to title this, Ryan? The most ghetto POTA activation ever, something like that.
The coon-ass engineering of Louisiana POTAs. That's all I gotta say, Komasa.
Once you cross the border from Texas to Louisiana, you get freaking dumb.
We're just built different. That's all I can say.
Built different. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's PC. Built different. Dude, we had the most amazing time today. And when you guys see this video and you see the crap that we did to get on the air, you and the hate comments. I can't wait for the hate comments for everyone to tell us how we did it wrong. Oh my god.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
My god.
Oh
yeah.
my
Mike.
God.
Yeah.
Just to make matters worse, right after we lost contact on 520, I ordered one of those devices for the stockpile now.
The thing?
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I ordered one, just so we'll have one on standby.
Well, you know, 1 is none and 2 is 1, right?
Is this like
if he's there, then we do 2.
Is this Mike? You're running CB amps on the ham radio HF?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. It ain't that redneck. That's next video.
Okay, all right.
Hey, Mike, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you happen to see what happened to Greg's live stream after Ham Radio Clubhouse?
You know what? I went after that episode. That was last week, right?
Yeah, this past Tuesday.
Shane and I stuck on the live stream for a sec. Everybody else dropped off just backstage. Shane and I ended up talking for like 30 minutes about like video games. And then I went and played Grand Theft Auto. But yes, Greg texted me that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you heard about that. That was if you can go back and watch it. He replayed it on his live stream.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
I told him, I'm like, you need to make this a short. Like, it's just, So Greg K6EGG had a live stream last week after the Ham Radio Clubhouse. He and I were guests on Ham Radio Clubhouse live stream last week.
Okay.
And then Greg got on K6EGG does live streams. It's a small YouTube channel. He's just all the guy wants to do is live stream ham radio. That's it. D-Star, Fusion, DMR, HF, sideband, FT8. Doesn't matter.
All right.
So some guy came on and started QRMing him. It was, oh my God. Just some people. So that was what that was all about. But yeah. Anyway, I don't want to hold up this whole thing, so I'm gonna go quiet here unless anybody has anything else for me. But I'll be. This is K at MRD. I'll be clear and monitoring.
Well,
is that what they say on the repeaters?
Yeah. Clear and monitoring. There's a French Polynesian signal. There's a French Polynesian station that seems to be transmitting out of the Pacific Ocean, and I'm pointing at them now. So let's see if we can make a contact there. We'll see what happens. But all right, let's go back because ultimately, what I really want to do here, and since we still have Mike and everything's good, I would like to get into the actual topic of this show. So, the video topic here is getting started in parks on the air. So, getting started in parks on the air. If you had let's set a limit, Mike. I don't know how. If you had to set a dollar amount for how much somebody would spend on Parks on the Air, what would you do? What would you say?
For
$1,000?
Just, the whole thing.
I want to go activate. I want to be an activator. $1,000? $1,000 for radio, feed line, power supply, all that. What would you do?
Well, I would say get a 91. Right now they're what, $679?
FT8 91. Okay.
And then a 20 amp hour. So here's the thing with batteries. You can go good, you can go cheap.
Yeah.
So let's go cheap.
Yeah. Wait, that was perfect, by the way, Mike. That was perfect. You can go good or you can go cheap. That was it. It was binary.
Well,
that was it. It's true. You're totally right.
Actually, so I've reviewed and destroyed a lot of batteries on my channel lately, but specifically Miati, MIADY is how you spell that.
Miati, yadi, like that.
Get a 16 or a 20 amp hour Miati lithium iron phosphate battery.
Okay.
Those are probably, let's say, $100 versus.
You'll blow through that in short order though with a 100-watt radio.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
you will.
depending on your mode. Well, Josh, what do you want to do with your radio? Is one of your questions. We're talking money right now.
Right. So, Mike, that's a great point. What's the first thing you ask is, what the heck do you want to do? It's fine that you want a POTA, but which mode of POTA? Like, what are you going to do? Single sideband?
I can throw in a huge butt. So let me go 891.
Are you throwing in your huge butt right now, Mike?
I am die on the hill 891. Okay?
For POTA.
Radio.
For POTA.
For POTA. 891. So you're $679.
Yeah, not bad. I think not bad.
And we have a $1,000 budget, right?
$1,000 budget, so we can get a sweet antenna, coax power supply, or battery, right?
So pull up your Amazon and want to get like a 16 to 20 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery.
Oh, this is back to be Miotti.
I bought a 20. Was it? No, it was. No, I bought a 16 amp hour Miotti. It was like $55.
How many amp hours?
For a 16 amp hour. Okay.
I think those days.
So you might have to go. I mean, there's a lot of Chinese lithium iron phosphate batteries now.
There's a couple that are out there. So Miotti has a 16 for $60.
Yeah, get that.
Yeah. So that's not bad. That's not bad.
I have two of those in my what I call Medium Geek. Two 16 amp hour, that exact battery right there. I have two of those in my. I made a battery box specifically to charge, or specifically to power my 12-volt cooler. So two of those in parallel. So I have 32 amp hours charging my. That battery is good. That is a good battery. So $80.
They scale actually pretty nicely because you can go from the 16 to the 20, and it's only $10 more.
Yeah. So get the 20.
That's not bad. I would probably go with the 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better to, if it's only $10, it's better to have it and not need it. Okay.
Okay.
So here's the reality. So we've got radio and we've got battery. I did a POTA activation the other day at Huntsville State Park. Actually, it was me and KM9G. I think each of us got 100 contacts, 100 watts with the 7300, and we did it so fast. Now, mind you, this is only sideband. We used 4 amp hours. Sounds crazy. Sideband doesn't really use a lot of power. We were on the air for like an hour.
Well, it does in comparison to like CW, but sure.
But when you're doing, so let's put this into FT8 perspective. So on Tuesday nights, if you see me spotted on Ham Alert on a Tuesday, chances are I'm sitting on my porch watching Ham Radio Clubhouse and playing FT8. 69% power with my 7300. And I'll generally go. I usually start about 6:30. The show starts at 7, and they end at like 9. So let's say 2.5 hours of full on hardcore, non-stop FT8. I'll generally, to use a Josh term, use under 15 amp hours. Really up 12 amp hours of solid hardcore. Now, mind you, it's not 100 watts. I'm at 69% power. So with that 16 amp hour Miotti, you can do a few hours of FT8, of like URO FT8, we'll call it. Or you can do on sideband longer than you'll want to talk on the radio.
Well, so you and Mike are you and Mike. Mike, you and I are very similar in the sense that, like, we don't really like to talk on the radio. We don't rag chew.
Well,
if you want a rag chew battery, this is
chew.
different. Yeah. So this is not a rag chew battery. This is a get your contact and get on with it.
If you're rag chewing, honestly, rag chewing is no different than doing POTA. It's you're talking and then they're talking. It's just at a faster pace. The current draw is probably going to be pretty similar. So that's 16 amp hour. What was that? $80 for that battery? It's going to last you a long time.
All right.
Not all day. Like not from like 7 in the morning till 7 p.m. with charging it or without augmenting it with solar power and stuff. But you'll get your ham fix in for sure.
All right.
With that.
So
$680 for the radio, $80 for the battery. Who's doing the maths? What's that? $760.
So you're doing the let me spend your money game, but we gotta still explain how this all works too, right? So you gotta go to Parks on the Air, right? POTA.app is the website. And ideally, so here's the thing. Before you take Mike's advice, and you, by the way, he's right. But you still should go to POTA.app and go to map and look up what your map is. So if you click on your location, it should bring you to where you're at. Close enough for me. Those yellow dots are parks that are in my area. So I got to drive most of the time to parks that are, well, I have some beaches, but normally I have to drive to a POTA, right? And so Mike, here's the question for you is, when you find a POTA that might be in your area or maybe an area you're traveling to, how do you know that like you're in the park designated area? That's a big thing that people are always asking about.
That's a great question. The first thing I would say is do not rely on the Parks on the Air website.
Yeah.
Do not. Go to Google Maps. So rely on the Parks on the Air website to find the park. Then go on, just Google that park. Go to like the state or national website and find out where the actual boundaries are. If you're close to the park, drive to the park, get a map. Every single park you go into, they're like, "Do you want a map? Do you want a map?" Just say yes. So finding parks, so it can be easy and it can be difficult if you're going to look. You have to understand that the POTA website is kind of a general guideline. It's like, here's the park. But like, so for example, Sam Houston National Forest, which is in Huntsville State Park. So if you want to type in Sam Houston National Forest or type in Huntsville State Park, type in Huntsville State Park, Kilo 3019, you'll see that it looks like Sam Houston National Forest completely encompasses Huntsville State Park. It does not at all.
I don't even know what I typed there, but apparently I knew what I meant. But I'm so when you bail out of it, like it doesn't give you a lot of, like if I'm on Google Maps right now, it's all green.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Go on the POTA website.
Oh, POTA website. Okay.
Go to the POTA website and type in Huntsville State Park. So that's Huntsville State Park, but zoom out and you'll see Sam Houston National Forest, which looks like it encompasses the entire thing. So
we'll get close
the
enough in a second.
The POTA map, you got to zoom way out, or type in Sam Houston National Forest. That might be your better option, your better bet.
So we're gonna.
The point is, type in Sam Houston National Forest in the POTA website. So the pin
where?
drop.
What are you talking about? See, that's the other problem. This website sucks.
Go to POTA.app.
It
doesn't. It's not that bad.
I'm there. I'm in the map.
And this is coming from me.
I'm on the map. I know. Yeah,
right.
you being such a fan about this is
so. Click on the hamburger.
Disconcerting.
Go to map.
Yeah, I'm there.
Oh, you got to do that thing. Click United States and then just type in.
I got to click United States.
No, hang on. Go to the spotting page. Easier.
Oh, we could. Okay, we're gonna go. Okay, this way.
And I'm watching you on delay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
But if you just go to the POTA spotting page, I think it is. Hang on, let me. If only I had a way to do this too.
If only you had a way.
Yeah. So just go to the POTA spotting page.
Yeah, I'm there.
At the very top. Oh, you're not signed in. You're not signed in.
Oh, so now I have to sign in.
Oh my God.
Do you see?
So, no, hang on.
Hang on.
Don't do that.
I'm not gonna do it
So
live.
you need to create your own Parks on the Air account.
Okay, hold on.
Which is like email and password.
I'm gonna
if
log
you can't
in.
do an
I'm
email
logged
and
in. Okay.
password,
Hey, I'm
you
logged in.
probably
Hey,
can't
kids.
pass
Hey,
your
kids.
ham
I'm all
radio.
logged in now. I'm all logged in, kids. Don't worry about it. We're all good now.
Hey,
Josh is
can I
Uncle
interrupt
Josh
real
is good.
quick?
Go
So
ahead.
at the top,
wait,
it should say,
hold on, Mike. Hold on. Go ahead.
Hey,
Comment.
To kind of speed this up a little bit for the attention deficit disorder people like myself, if you go to the hamburger menu, there's a search bar right there that you can type in Sam Houston State Park.
What?
Say what? Yep.
Oh,
yeah, just type it right there.
Right. If I spelled it right, Sam Houston Jones State Park.
no, that's where I was today. Sam Houston National Forest.
I'm sorry, that's not a thing. Oh, Sam Houston National Forest. There you go. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
There we are.
I'm
Okay,
still
now
trying to do that. I don't have that. That doesn't work for me.
Hamburger.
That doesn't work on Safari.
Under search for call signs. So search for call signs apparently means also park entities. And that doesn't say that. It's not tagged to say that.
Nope, that little hamburger icon trick does not work on Safari. Just saying. Okay, so Sam Houston National Forest. So look at where that pin is.
Yes. It's right in the middle of a green space.
That
big,
is
large green space.
Nowhere near where I live. But all of that dark shaded green kind of is Sam Houston National Forest. And that lake to the kind of bottom left, that's Lake Conroe,
it's a good looking
which
lake.
Sam Houston National Forest extends to. But it's very broken up. It is not a continuous forest. Like, you can literally go across the street and not be in that forest. It's farmland. So don't just think that you're in that general area. So if you see the I-45 New Waverly, you see the yellow dot for Huntsville. So if you look at this map, it looks like Huntsville State Park is inside of Sam Houston National Forest. It is not. So if you're ever looking at a twofer, ask them, is Huntsville State Park like inside of Sam Houston National Forest? And they'll say no, it's a completely separate park. It's totally broken up.
Yeah.
It's totally broken up. It is not a twofer. So you have to do your research. And here's where you can see where the parks are. But that dot, I could drive a half hour south of me and still be Sam Houston National Forest because it is that big.
It looks
big. But it looks
big.
There's pockets of it. And the Lone Star Trail goes through that, which is not a POTA entity. So you have to look at. So here's where you're like, all right, here's where I want to go. I know I want to go to Sam Houston National Forest, and then maybe Huntsville State Park is there too. So now we see where it is geographically. Now you want to go to, because we're in Texas, let's say we want to go to Texas State Parks. We want to dive deeper. We want to say, okay, what are the actual boundaries of Sam Houston National Forest or Huntsville State Park?
This is getting really complicated. Why are we making this so complicated?
Because you asked.
No, I like how to get started is what I'm looking for. Like this seems really complicated.
Find a park and go there and call CQ.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
And honestly, the rules are such. The rules are very slack in Parks on the Air. You're on the honor system. If you go and you do your research, you genuinely think that your antenna, your entire station, everything you're using is within the park boundaries, knock yourself out. Call CQ POTA. The ham radio police are not going to come and get you. Do it. And I think you'd have this. I think you would have the support of the entire POTA team, because that's what several of them have told me.
Yeah. So the big thing here is, I think everybody has to understand that, like, the big item of it is you go out there and you make contacts, right? That's the whole goal. So your logging capability, whether you want to write that down by hand or you use an application like Hammers. A lot of people use Hammers. Now, I don't even know, is that the hot thing still, Mike? Are people still using Hammers?
Yes, I used it today. We all used it today.
So what's the big deal about Parks on the Air is that even using Hammers on your phone or whatever, you email yourself these logs, and then once you make an account on this website, you just upload your logs to this website. And the website will take them and figure it out and post your contacts that you made as an activator. But here's the best thing for all of you chasers. This is why you should be paying attention to this video.
Correction. We're called hunters in Parks on the Air.
Okay,
hunters.
Thank
not
you.
Chasers. You have activators and you have hunters.
Oh, is that a soda thing? Is that what I did? I think it's
chasers.
Yeah, so,
literally nobody cares, but yes, we're hunters in POTA.
So in Summits on the Air, we call them chasers, but in Parks on the Air, they're called hunters. But here's the best part about all this. So let's say you got a really cool station at home, whether it's something you set up in the afternoon or it's just permanently set up. You can activate and chase, hunt those people that are making those contacts, those activators. If you make a contact with them, you don't really necessarily have to log it. They'll log it for you for points on the Parks on the Air system. The only reason why you'd want to log it is if you needed to add it to your log, if you wanted that.
Let me clarify that a little bit.
Go ahead, please.
There's no points. There's no points. There's no points.
It's all points. Points. Double points. Triple points.
It's just you have made a contact with an activator in that park.
You made
all we're doing is we're hunting.
You made that many contacts. You made that many.
It is not. There is no point system at all.
No points.
It does not exist.
But you got that many of them. You have that many of them.
Yes. So you could say I have hunted 420 parks in the Parks on the Air system. What? You could say I've hunted 666 parks.
Mike, why are we like
in the Parks on the Air system?
Mike, why are we like this?
Because we love each other, and that's
Mike.
What we
why
do.
are we like this? Like, why
because we love ham radio.
Why are they not points? Like, why
they're
are
not
we doing
points.
This? Why are we doing? Why are you doing?
So here's the other thing.
Why are you doing this? Why are we doing?
As a hunter, if I were in the park today and you made a contact with me in the Parks on the Air database, you as a hunter do not need to do anything. You cannot do anything. The onus to upload the log is on the activator. Now, there's a caveat.
Okay.
I can't speak for everyone, but I personally will also take those contacts and upload them to my actual main ham radio log that I use. I use rumlog ng. I will upload them to Logbook of the World and at some point even QRZ. But if all you're looking for is the contact for Parks on the Air, if you make a contact with me, you don't need to do anything. Mike, when I upload my log, now here's where you as a hunter still need to you need to create an account with Parks on the Air so you can see all that stuff. Josh, would you go ahead and model how maybe a hunter could see the contacts that they have hunted in the Parks on the Air website? Is that a thing that you could do, or are you technologically capable of doing that?
Oh, as a hunter? Yeah, my hunter log? Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you show the hunter log?
So if I click on my call sign, once I've made an account and I click on my hunter log, then every time I have made a contact, and again, I'm not logging this. You can if you want to, if you need that in your log. You don't have to though, but you can. But
I would encourage you to log them because
sure.
Parks on the Air is another good way to get your worked all states. Or whatever other thing you're looking for in ham radio, whether it's worked all states, worked all counties, worked all grids. Parks are in different states. They're in different counties. They're in grids. So I would implore everyone to upload your log as an activator. Upload your logs to the Parks on the Air website, but also upload your logs to Logbook of the World and sometimes QRZ.
Yeah, so you get a whole list here, and one of them is park to park. Look at that. So I was activating at the same time that I made a contact with somebody that was also activating. So I got double points. I got points as an activator and points as a hunter. Cool, right?
2 points for you. Can you show us where the points are accumulated?
I have no idea where to go for that. My profile?
That's because there are no points in POTA.
Oh my god, look at that.
Oh, you fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
Oh
there
my
are no
god,
points.
there's no points.
But there are awards.
What am I
There are awards.
What am I
though.
supposed to say here? What am I supposed
There
to
are awards though. So if you need a participation trophy and you want to print off a PDF and hang it on your wall, there are achievements.
I have like not nearly enough states. Like not nearly enough.
Going back to what Mike said about the log uploads, as a hunter and an activator, I tend to upload to QRZ once a week so that I get those contacts in QRZ as well, so that you can get the fake awards there too, just if somebody wants them.
Yes. So here we can see Josh has worked. He has hunted many states.
Many states.
I have all of those green except for Alaska, which I have worked Alaska and it's not in there. And I just heard KL7EC was on 17 meters earlier during your live stream, but I could barely hear him.
Which I have definitely worked
there's
Alaska
achievements.
POTA.
There is, well, you're much closer to Alaska, and you have.
Wait, are we competing, Mike? Is this like are we competing for points right now?
Not for points. Not for points.
But we're competing. We're still competing.
Of course. So like when I do POTA,
what does it matter if it's points or boxes or squares? It doesn't matter. We're still competing.
Because points are different than boxes and squares.
Nobody cares.
Exactly. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Why are hams
let me say this.
Why are hams
Let me
like
say
this? Why are we like this?
What's that show? Whose line is it anyway?
Yeah.
Where the rules don't matter and Where the points, where the rule, what is it? Where the points don't matter and the rules are made up.
Yep.
That's POTA. The only rule in POTA, there's not many. There's like 2. You and your entire station need to be within park as an activator.
I love that.
And you can't work repeaters other than like satellites.
Yeah.
Repeater contacts don't count. That's it. That's it. That's the rules for POTA. That's it. The rules for POTA: go out, get in a park, and have fun and play radio. That is the goal for parks on the air.
So
doesn't matter your radio, your antenna. If you want to do it all on VHF, I've worked contacts when the bands were crappy. I'm with a couple guys. We're all literally looking at each other. Picture 4 guys looking at each other. We're all calling each other on 14652, and then we get on 446.000. Because it's a simplex contact, that is a POTA contact, and that is an activation. So long as you get 10. So all you need is 10.
All right, so
That's
hold on.
Matters.
Grayman POTA, are you on Discord? You got to drop the link to their YouTube in the Discord. That bypasses the link rule on YouTube, and then you can actually link us right to it. Otherwise you got to give us the call sign or their YouTube channel so I can pull it up. I wanna see if we can pull them up and like drive a bunch of people to them.
Josh, they just finished their live stream.
They're done.
10 minutes ago, yeah. But Hamstick Eric and Greg.
You guys should have told me earlier. Come on. Let
me
know.
They were trying to get off the...
Please interrupt Mike and I. We're very aggressive. We're very aggressive talkers.
No, we're not.
But please,
no, we're not.
Mike, shut up. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me. You got to interrupt us. You got to interrupt us with important stuff like this.
Well, it was a while ago. They were literally trying to shut down the POTA activation for about 20 minutes. I think they did about 155 contacts.
Good for them. Good for them.
I want to say that I posted, if you want to scroll up, if you want to fact check me, I posted in the Discord, in this live Discord, that KH6, whatever WIK6EG, were on 21290 put it from Hawaii earlier.
But
I posted it.
Did you post the live stream?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's what we want to do. We want to boost traffic to the live stream. We get people.
I don't even think you had joined yet, or maybe you just had. It was early.
So hear me out. So I'm God, I don't know where I sit on all this.
You're a point counter. Go ahead, point counter.
I'm a point counter. Yeah, no, I am. I'm a point counter. So if you think about, okay, I get it now. I get now why Mike is like, oh, there's no points. There's no points. So parks on the air, why is it different from summits on the air? So summits on the air is based off of like the prominence of the summit. So if you're on a very high mountain, it's worth more points because you hiked your ass up to the top of it. A lot of parks on the air, you don't work that hard to get there. With that said, Mike, and I know you are an exception, and I've watched your videos and I love them when you're hiking out there and like actually getting some time in the field, trekking out there and doing that whole thing. There's no extra points for that. It's just the contacts you made. It's the park you activated is the important part of it. That's the exception.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the exception
yes,
to soda.
Yeah, soda is like a points thing. So like
for the summit, summit.
If K6ARK climbs up to a 10-point summit and you as a chaser work him, you also get those 10 points as a chaser, right? In parks on the air, it's just, hey, I'm at this park and you worked me at this park, and hey, that's great. The point with park on the air, it's low key, man. It's just the goal is to, for me anyway, and I would feel I speak for the majority of POTA activators and the POTA program in general, is to get outside, enjoy our natural resources, and play radio. That is literally it. Like, lower your expectations in terms of it's not a competition. It is not a contest. It is merely like when I got into ham radio, I was watching you, K9ARV, and KG6HQD, God rest his soul. And I'm watching you guys take like, take a sip for Jerry. And but this is, POTA didn't even exist then. Jerry was doing soda.
No, but
you did
know
a
how
soda
hard
video
that
with
was?
him.
You know how hard that was for him
I
to do
know.
what he was doing?
And I'm watching you guys take your tiny little QRP radios, which fits so perfectly with tonight's topic, taking those small radios up a mountain, or taking those small radios in a pack and hiking through 10 miles through a trail. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Or just getting out of your car and hiking or walking 20 feet to a park bench. It's being outside, away from your shack, in nature, off of mains power, battery-powered ham radio in the wild. That's all it is. All it is.
Enjoy nature.
You're oh man. Okay, so I love that at the end we still hit the right point in that having an efficient setup is the most important thing you can do here. Antennas,
you got the radio and the battery.
Right. So
go ahead.
You can spend a lot of money on a radio, or you can spend a little bit of money, but you're still going to have a good antenna to be able to get your power out, regardless of all of that. You're still going to take some time to figure out what the right antenna is for you for doing whatever it is you're going to do. I don't know what it is at this point. I don't know. I mean, I guess that was kind of the point of where we're trying to go, is like, what would you tell people to do, Mike? Is like, I would go, well, geez. It depends on how much money you wanted to spend. If it was, you wanted to go cheap, end-fed half-wave, like a K6ARK or something like that, end-fed wire, get them in the air. A dipole, you could definitely do a Soda Beams band hopper 3-band. 3-band is my recommendation dipole. Get on the air that way. You could do a DX Commander, but that's going to take a little while. So it depends. Well, okay, wait.
The antenna is really the most difficult topic to cover.
Well, I mean,
because there's only so many radios in that price budget. There's only so many batteries.
Sure.
So we got an 891, we got a Miyati 16 amp hour battery. Now, as far as antennas are concerned, for me, as someone who has been doing POTA since its infancy, and I can kind of say that I've helped popularize it, not to brag, just if you watch my videos, like what antenna am I using, or don't even watch my videos, watch any more current POTA video. What is everybody using? An NFET half wave.
Probably.
So I started using an NFET half wave, and then I came up actually.
Oh wait, Mike, very important point, very important.
Yeah.
Where did you get the idea about the NFET half wave and the importance there?
I got the idea that you hated a 9-to-1 at the 2019.
I'm just messing with you. After the whole I helped.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
When you rejected that certain 9-to-1.
Yes. Okay. You can say it. I don't.
The Pac-10 and 9-to-1. And Josh was like, "Nah, I'm not a big fan of a 9-to-1." I'm like, "Why not?"
I'm not.
But dude, I didn't know anything about anything back then.
But
so
what happened? What happened?
So I got the Pac-10 NFET half wave when it was only sold as a 20-meter antenna.
Yeah.
Previous to that, I got a Pac-10 linked dipole. Well, so I got the NFET half wave and I got the linked dipole. I see how George made the linked dipole. I'm like, well, why the hell don't I just make this NFET half wave as a linked NFET half wave? So I will take credit for inventing the linked NFET half wave antenna.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's good.
100%.
Yep.
Find a video. Find an article that cites a linked NFET half wave before my video 4 years ago. I reviewed the Pac-10 NFET half wave. I'm taking credit. I invented the linked NFET half wave. So anyway.
Yeah.
So the NFET half wave, and I love the DX Commander Expedition too, but we're talking POTA.
Yes.
We're talking lightweight. We're talking. I want to get out there.
Let's go with the cutesy small radio kit. Like, what would you put in a small radio kit to do POTA?
So
either way, that way, right?
So
yeah.
Never mind the radio. Antenna. I'm going to choose an NFET half wave.
I think so
because multi-band. Yep. It's resonant, and if you do the K8MRD mod, where I made a 17-meter link, so on my NFET half waves, on a regular NFET half wave, for those that don't know, if you have a 40-meter NFET half wave, it should be resonant on 40 meters, 20 meters, 15 meters, and 10 meters. But I was like, well, what was this? Probably 2 years ago, 17 meters was kind of popping up.
Oh yeah.
So well, why don't I just cut a link for 17 meters? And there you go, right there in the chat.
I know what I'm doing, Mike. I'm backing you up. I'm your co-pilot.
And thank you. And you can do this for every band. Like if you wanted to make a 6-meter, a 10-meter, a 12-meter, a 17, 15, whatever, you can make all the links for all the bands.
I love the concept. I love the concept of everybody playing with the idea of moving around the frequencies. Everything is fluid. It's all fluid. We can move where the resonance spot is at any time for any band on any antenna. You just have to whatever you want. You just got to say, this is what I want to do. This is what we're going to make. There it is.
Well, the great thing about this antenna is that you can hang the feed point pretty low to the ground, like 4 or 5 feet off the ground. Just hang it in a tree and then run the end of the antenna up with whatever mast. I used this antenna a lot with the Soda Beams Carbon 6. It doesn't need to be that high off the ground. It just works. And I'm talking QRP.
Okay.
Now, you see, since I made these NFET half waves that are linked, you see now Pac-10 is making a linked end-fed half-wave. Now, Chameleon is making a linked end-fed half-wave. Like they're all following my lead, which is great because we're expanding the hobby. And that goes back to what we were saying about like, we do these things to just like it's experiments. What's ham radio? It's about experimenting. So now like we can see that we can do a linked end-fed half-wave. They're resonant on all these bands. Maybe need to unlink it. You know how long it takes to unlink it? About 3 seconds. It's not like tuning a Wolfram coils or even a linked dipole. A linked dipole is its own situation.
Okay.
You gotta have so a dipole is great. And I actually just did an activation with a dipole a week and a half or so ago. I think I did a video maybe 2 weeks ago. I used the PAC-10 linked dipole. Okay. With the dipole, you have to have a mast. It doesn't need to be guide, but you need a center support for the center of the dipole. And then you need a support for each leg of the dipole, So you need 3 points of contact for a dipole. With an end-fed half-wave, and a dipole is only resonant on one band, right? Unless you link it. Or you have an off-center fed dipole that's got some transformers and stuff in it to make it multi-band, right? But then that adds more weight and more complexity. With the end-fed, you literally just put the feed point, the transformer, just throw it over a branch. Put it on the ground. It doesn't matter. Okay. Get the other end up in the air, and you're making contacts. And you're resonant. If you want to change base, if you're on 40 meters, making contacts, great. It dies, switch to 20 meters. You don't have to get up, unlink things generally. Tune coils. You do not need an antenna tuner or should not need an antenna tuner at all. It's a resonant antenna that you can literally just change bands, sit at the bench. You don't need to get up and change bands if you want to and work and have great success.
Great success. There you go. Okay.
I have a hot take.
Oh, hot take. Here we go from Frank.
Yeah. While I completely and 100% agree with Mike, what about it if weight's not an issue? You're not hiking into the POTA area a whole lot. You're just pulling up, getting out 20, 30 feet. What about the Chameleon Tactical Delta Loop for an antenna? End-fed's great.
Oh, I'll tell you.
I was using one earlier.
I'll go to Mike. Then I wanna hit this point because I have used this antenna many times now.
I can't comment on the efficacy or efficiency of that antenna because I don't own one. I've never used one. The only thing I can comment on is from what I've seen in the videos in how long it takes to set up and how much stuff you need to bring. Which, for me, as a portable operator, I want to bring a tripod. I don't want to screw things into other things unless I'm at home and then clip wire to other things. Like it's too much setup for me. I want to get out there and I want to get on the air as quick as possible. But here's Josh.
So, the tactical Delta loop I put at the top of the oh gosh, what do they call that? The mass system, the MassWorks system. 25 feet up with the Delta loop. Hooked that up on 10 meters. I did get on 20 for very limited time, but I never had to get off of 10. And I did 100 watts on a 10-meter transceiver. I did 100 contacts in a little over an hour with no problem. I took that same antenna, just put it up higher, and that was the difference. And that's what I'm probably going to be taking out when I do the camp out for the Boy Scouts in the next weekend, I think.
Comment?
Go ahead.
Like, I know I've been on here a couple of times, but like I'm really new to the whole like ham thing. Like I've only had my license not even a year yet, and I just got my general back in August.
Okay.
I literally followed exactly what Mike's just said to where I bought an 891, I bought a 20 amp hour lithium battery, and I literally bought a linked NFED, and I've been killing it on Parks in the Air.
For sure. I mean,
see now,
like you don't. Okay, Mike, go ahead. You take it. You take it.
Here's the thing now. Like I'm looking at the chat and Adam's here. In my 818 go bag, talking small radios here.
Okay.
I have my Yaesu FT818, and I have. This is going to be so contradictory to everything I just said. I have the K6 ARK 9-1 with a tuner.
Okay.
I believe the wire. No, I know. I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it. I believe the wire is only 41 feet versus roughly 66 feet for a 40 meter NFED half wave. So the 9-1 with a tuner and a shorter wire, which can be helpful in a lot of situations, is very effective. So that, like, I would not rule out the 9-1. The only thing is the maybe, in real terms, the maybe 2 minutes extra setup time and the extra coaxial cable you'll need to go from the radio to the tuner and then from the tuner to the antenna. And I have that. I have some tiny little Chinese tuner, like QRP tuner, but it works amazing with the K6 ARK 9-1. So that's tough. So, but actually, if we're still talking 100 watts, that won't work. Because if you're going 100 watts with the 891, then you need a tuner like the what's that one you like? The Prol.
I love the Prol. Yep.
Yeah. Who makes that?
LDG.
I can't think of it right now. LDG. So they need to bring a tuner. So like that's the thing that everyone needs to understand. Like all of these antennas work. They will get you on the air and you will make contact.
Yeah, well said.
It's just a matter of how much stuff do you want to bring? How much time are you willing? Patience is not my thing. Patience is not, I do not possess that quality. So for a guy like me, I'm very instant gratification. I want to get my radio, I want to plug in the antenna, and I want to play radio. But my limitations with the NFED half wave, so I'm 40, 20, 15, and 10, and if I take literally 30 seconds and stand up, I don't have to take down my mast or anything. I can grab the wire and pull it down and unlink it for 17 meters. But there is something to say about a 9-1, which is actually less transformer or less impedance transformation. But you're using a non-resonant wire. You're using that tuner, and Adam, chime in if I'm saying this wrong. But you're using that tuner to kind of help just make your radio happy. Your signal's still going to get out. So if you want to get on like 12 meters, which ain't happening on an NFED half wave unless you make a link for it. If you have a 9-1 with a tuner, you're on 12 meters in like lickety split. Or heck, you might even can tune up 80 meters, right? So there's something to say about that. So like every single decision you make in ham radio is a compromise in some way.
That's true.
So if you want to just go do POTA, most of the POTA activation, most of the band activity in a good solar cycle or a bad solar cycle is going to be on 20 or 40 meters.
That's true. Yeah.
So an NFED half wave is you're just going to be, you don't need to unlink anything. You put up a 40 meter NFED half wave, you're resonant on 20 meters already, and 15 and 10. So that's why a lot of people have gravitated towards that antenna. And it's just so stupid easy to set up.
I think there's a big misconception that when you tune an antenna like that into submission on a band it's not resonant on, that you're just throwing away all that extra power. You don't get any efficiency advantage out of the tune by using the tuner, which isn't true. It doesn't just make the radio happy. You are actually making an impedance match so the power goes to the antenna. It may not radiate exactly the direction or way you expect it to or want it to, and as you get further and further away from, as your untuned impedance is further and further away from 50 ohms, you do have a little bit more losses in your tuning system, but not that much. You're not just throwing away all that power.
So, okay. So the whole point of this, to some degree, was the discussion of like, what would you recommend, right? Like, Adam, Mike, like if you had to pick a way to do Parks on the Air, if you had to remove all obfuscations and complications and like clarifications and all these points we had to make along the way, like what would you tell people to actually use, right? Like what would be the radio, the power, and the antenna? What would it be? I'll go with Mike first. Mike, go ahead.
What a great transition. I just got done peeing. So I've
good. I'm so glad that worked out.
If you want to do POTA, get an 891,
okay,
a lithium iron phosphate battery,
okay,
an NFET half wave, some way to get your antenna in the air, and some coaxial cable.
Yeah. So
you need
is
five
this
things.
Is this also like if like, okay, so here's so from my point of view, the thing that people look at when they get really active in POTA is like, how many POTAs can I do in a day? So would that advice be the same for somebody who wanted to drop a bunch of POTAs in one day? Those same
an 891.
Yep.
Get an 891.
Yep.
An ATOS.
Oh,
and
ATOS.
A lithium iron phosphate battery.
Oh, so internal car.
If you want a Rove.
Yeah, if you want a Rove.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I've said this.
I like it.
I haven't said this in a while. Mm-hmm. I have said this in my videos, but you only need 5 things to play portable ham radio. I don't care if it's SOTA, POTA, whatever. Okay. You need a radio. You need an antenna. You need some way of getting your antenna up in the air. That could be a throw weight and like an arborist throw bag. That can be mast.
Sure.
That can be wrench with paracord. Doesn't matter. You need a radio, a power supply, some way get your antenna up in the air.
Yep.
You need something to log with. Was that 4 or was that 5?
No, it's pretty close. But you know, I hear
radio, antenna. So radio, antenna, feed line, some way to get your antenna up in the air, and a power supply. Mm-hmm. Those are the 5 things. That's all you need. Maybe something to log with was the 5th one. I don't remember.
I guess I don't know. There's a certain avant-garde.
There's too many variables.
No, there's a certain avant-garde that comes with Parks on the Air. I feel like that, like the
how much POTA do you do?
No, well, hear me out. The drive up situation for POTA is like there's a ton of people who are just doing the drive up situation. Have the ATOS or the ham stick or whatever. Like great, that's a way to go. Like right
I would
out the
feel
gate.
that some. I'd not say drive the mobile.
We know Don, the Don Army. Don's not here right now, but definitely he does it that way.
Of course, and you can. So if you want to get a ham, so if you want to go down that regard, go ahead.
I'm not advocating any way.
I'm sorry. Satan is currently doing his zoomies, so I'll be right back.
All right.
But I'm listening.
All right. So I've definitely hit a long point here. We were talking about Parks on the Air, which we all love. I don't think there's anybody that questions the love that we all have for Parks on the Air. By the way, why is my WSJTX like, look at that black line right in the middle? That doesn't make any sense to me. I restarted my computer. Not good. I don't know what's happening there. With that said, is there anyone still left in the Discord community here that's been hanging out that would like to have their question answered about ham radio? If they are, come forward, please. This is your last opportunity.
Hey, Josh, Andrew, N0KBB with a question.
Andrew, go for it, man. I'm glad I stuck through it. Go for it.
No, it's been great listening to you guys. But now that I've actually talked to you a couple of times, it's opened up the floodgates, and I'm trying not to bug you too much. But I have a question for you in the general ham radio community.
Sure.
When you leave your shack, do you leave your power supply and or radio on, or do you turn everything off? And then what's the benefit or dangers of doing either one?
Man, this is a really good question, because at the end of the day, so this is like my super nerd, like really, really nerdy response to this. Your fire insurance or your home insurance is going to dictate what you leave on. If you trust that completely, then you're largely not going to leave your ham radio on when you're not there, right? I would guess. It would say like, oh no, you can't leave a big device on the air when you're not there. At the same time, my main base station has a standby setting where I can connect to it via the internet or via my home network to be able to do ham radio off of it. So I generally leave that on. It's going to depend on your situation. It really is. Like, if you're worried about a power output fire or something like that, then obviously don't leave it on. But most of the time, most radios will not cause a fire or any kind of a important situation that you have to deal with.
All right, yeah, cool, thanks. I'm not too worried about fire, honestly. It is right next to the main gas line to the house, so that would probably be a really good fire. But
probably really good fire.
Yeah, real good fire. Absolute ripper, as we like to say. I'm a firefighter, so
okay,
but,
all right, right on.
Does continuously turning it on and off the power supply mainly do any damage to the electronics? I was kind of researching it a little bit earlier today, and people were like, don't turn it off. More wear and tear on the power supply.
Do you have a linear power supply, or is it switching? Do you know the difference?
Switching. Yes, I do.
Yeah, so for a switching, it doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
and
you're
then
good.
one more, hopefully quick question. On my mobile radio in my truck, I've noticed that when I turn my truck off, if I'm just running inside somewhere, I'll leave my radio on. But when I come back and I turn my truck on, the radio shuts off. Is that normal, or is that something that everyone experiences, or is that something that's going off my battery and power draw when I start the truck?
How'd you run the power for the radio?
Directly from the battery.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, okay.
The black wire goes to the black part, and the red wire goes to the red part.
Well, so I mean, if you wired it direct to the battery, it would never turn off, right? I mean, if you think about it,
starting
the voltage may be dropping due to cranking.
Pulling enough, yeah, exactly that.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering, and maybe it's just a sign of a new battery.
Does it come
needed,
back?
but...
Wait, hold on. Does it come back after you shut off? Does it come back?
If I turn it back on.
No.
But
So okay. So hold on here. Hold on. So you have wired the power for the radio to the battery line to charge the charge the radio. And then when you shut off the engine, it shuts everything off.
no. When I turn off the engine, the radio stays on, and then the radio turns off when I go to start the truck again.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you have it connected to some kind of open circuit where it doesn't shut it off. So yeah, you
Exactly.
got a straight feed to battery. Yeah, that's what you would expect.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
First of all, you forgot to ask him what his budget is.
No, well, he didn't ask. Okay, all right, fine.
that should always be the first question on.
No, it's not always the first question. If he already has a bunch of gear, then let's just fit it into his situation or whatever. But yes, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, no, it's not something I'm too concerned about. It was just more of an annoyance, and I wonder if that's something that everyone deals with, and I'm just not used to it or what. So that's all.
When you're positively, do you have it connected before or after a battery management system that may or may not be included in your specific vehicle?
I'm connected right to the terminal as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe the starter's pulling too many volts, too much current, and it's just not enough for the radio to stay on. Because once the truck turns on, I can turn the radio on and everything works great.
So there's also something to be said for the battery might be like kind of on its last legs a little bit, that it doesn't have the cranking capacity for whatever you're trying to do. Generally, amateur radio operators or radio operators in general, we're not really looking for cranking capacity or amperage in a battery. So it's gonna vary a little bit, or no?
Most AutoZones, Pep Boys, any of those kind of places will you can drive in and they'll test your battery for free.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And thanks for answering my previous question. And I'll throw it out real quick. Josh, I emailed you about it for the podcast, but I'll throw it out to these guys. I just yesterday, I think it was, got my extra license.
Woo! Congratulations, man. That's awesome. I love that.
Thank you very much. You and the team and the guys have been a great inspiration. So it's been wonderful. And then today, I know it's not extra band privilege, but I got Australia and the Netherlands on 10 meters.
Oh, wow. That's super cool. That's awesome. It's the time, man. 10 meters is open big time.
Yeah, I'm very excited. But anyway, I'll let someone else go, and I know it's getting late for everyone, so I'm just going to listen in the background and hang out. So thank you very much, guys. Have a great night.
All right, I'm going to head out. I got to go at this point because my wife and kids came home with bags of snacks, and they're like, this is the night we're going to have a movie night. And then they hit me with a let's end the live stream at 9 p.m. local time. And I said, okay, it is October. It is October, so that means
it's
that
Oztober. Oztober.
So that means that it's time for horror movies, right?
For the great Ozzy Osbourne.
And yes, I will also bite the head off a bat for the proper way.
See, there you go. It's in theme.
For the proper
We
way.
We
to
drove
bring
past
people.
a local drive-in that's still open. I noticed they were playing The Exorcist tonight.
All I got to say is, everybody watching, so here you go. Here's how we're going to wrap this stream up. This is how we're going to wrap this stream up. I don't want your old school movie. I don't want your new school movie. I don't want your I gotta say this because it's just a part of what I believe. I want the people that are listening that can talk. I want you to tell me what you think the best horror movie is you ever watched. That's what I want to hear. Can we do that?
It's got to be Nightmare on Elm Street.
Saw.
Are you a Freddy guy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
Freddy guy. I don't know. That's a psychological horror. Okay.
No, but the original.
But imagine watching it when you're 6 years old.
Yeah. Wait. So, Mike, you're kind of like me. Got exposed to horror way too early, right?
Yeah.
So, Freddy to a 6-year-old would be horrible. That would be horrible.
I know.
Horrible.
I know. So, I know you have terrible taste in Nicolas Cage movies.
Oh, I have the best taste.
I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay.
I've said this before. Rubber. Rubber.
That's a terrible movie.
Horrible.
Exactly. It's right up Josh's alley, and it's right up my alley. Rubber. It's about a tire that goes around killing people.
No, that's not my. That's not.
What
me.
What in the world?
Oh, and I thought mine was bad.
That's like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Okay.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space always
is good.
one.
Is very good.
Number one.
Very good.
Don't forget about the Army of Darkness.
That's awful.
Army of Darkness is
Army
not
of
a horror
Darkness, yes.
movie. It's not a horror movie. It's a fun, cliche, welcome to Bruce Campbell's universe movie.
So what are you looking for then?
Like an actual good horror movie. I like the original Exorcist. Nobody does now. No, it's not scary.
Oh, Exorcist
nobody's scared
is
by
lame.
that. Nobody's scared
It's
by
so
that.
bad.
Silence of the Lambs. What about the original Amityville Horror?
So straight up, this is actually one of the best answers so far is the original Frighteners. Frighteners with Michael J. Fox is really good. And if you would like a really good horror movie that is like body horror is Slither. Slither is one of the best body horror movies you can watch. Save it for Halloween. You can trust in me that it's a really good answer. I promise you.
I watched an interesting movie called In the Tall Grass.
That's good.
I think it was on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
You saw that? Okay. Yeah.
That's not bad. But so here's where I think. So if ever okay, let's baseline where I'm going. I find The Descent is an amazing horror movie that many people cannot like. No one can compare to that. The Descent is one of the best horror movies
I've not
ever
seen
made.
that.
It is one of the best horror movies ever made. Period.
Okay, I got to say my tongue-in-cheek one. The Scream
Shining.
series.
The Shining is not a horror movie. Okay, sorry.
What is it?
No, the Scream series.
Okay. Wait. Okay, so the Scream series, I really love. Oh God. So when the Scream series came out, it was like the change to the system, like the like everybody's gonna die, and it ended with like 2 killers, right? Because at the end of Scream, there was actually 2 killers. That had never really been done before, and I love Scream, and that was also Wes Craven. Wes Craven was the director of Scream. Loved it.
Did you say Descent?
No.
Oh yeah, The Descent is amazing. Have you ever watched that?
I finally watched that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I'm looking it up on Google right now. I feel that movie sucked.
No way. There's no way. Look, Mike. I can give you that you don't like Nicolas Cage and Mandy, but The Descent is one of the best horror movies ever. And if you come back and tell me that it's not good, the whole community
I'll have to rewatch it.
Yeah,
I'll have to rewatch it.
It's
but
very
I
good.
will say that you and I are I feel very good friends in many areas.
Oh, so many areas.
But there are some where we just
I can
we
see
don't
it.
align.
I can see it.
It's a little unresident. Like you're my 12 megahertz end-fed half wave. You know what I mean?
I'm a weird guy. Okay, so wait.
Dude,
Okay,
yeah.
So Mike, you and I, 100% on board with House.
Dude, House
100%
is
on
what's
board.
up.
It is
That
one of
movie's
such a good horror
Oh my
movie.
God.
Such a good
Yeah.
horror movie. House, and then if you didn't know this, there was a whole series of House movies. House.
I didn't watch those, but the first one,
The
where
first
we're
one's
like that
very good.
army guy,
and the whole blob of like.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that's legit.
So good. So
all that
good.
80s horror stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
it's great.
So
So
good.
great.
Now, if we were to go with my 6-year-old, horror movie, that would be the Haunted Mansion elevator from Disney. That the movie made off of that.
That's not a horror movie though. Like the
Yeah, but that's like the 6-year-old. That scared the 6-year-old from me.
if you could literally like just repeat that right now, it's not really a horror movie.
Go with Poltergeist.
Oh no,
too.
not
the original Poltergeist. Like,
Okay,
Amy, look into the
like
light.
with Coach.
Dude, when they're like, we built the house on the cemetery, but we
built
didn't
this
pull
city-
up the. Built this city on rock and roll. Yeah, we got that. But like in the original Poltergeist,
Done.
they
Oh
they
my God.
built the whole. Was that Jefferson Starship?
It was.
I know music, dude.
The Poltergeist.
I thought I was
book
gonna
is-
slip it by, but apparently I cannot. I cannot slip it by.
Yeah. Don't forget about the Blair Witch Project.
Pet Cemetery?
Do you know that there was people that thought that was a real thing that happened when the Blair Witch Project happened, and they had that website, and you can go in there and you could like chat to the creators of all that. There was so many
When
people. who was like,
Cage, when
Here we go,
Cage
here we
gets
go.
run over by that semi in Pet Cemetery, though, that's
something
like Blair
special.
Witch Project kind of sucks.
No, it's great.
Like-
oh my
like
god,
it was
so good,
Dude, it was
so
scary
good.
as hell in like 1998 or
Oh
90,
yeah,
whenever it came
100%.
out.
Oh, that is like
it
one
got us all. It was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
of its kind.
Yeah.
We're like, what the hell is going on here?
oh shit, this
and
is
then
on
they're
the
like,
internet.
oh yeah, it's fake. And then it was like, oh, all right. But then everybody else copied it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Chud. Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. I've not seen the movie, but I know
You
of
have
it.
not seen Chud?
No.
That's a good one.
Chud is great. Have you seen
How
Scanners?
about,
Have you seen Scanners? Scanners.
No, I haven't seen Scanners
The
either. How
best
about
head explosion of all time. Scanners is the best. Like the best.
I know it's referenced. It's referenced. What
Everywhere,
was that?
everywhere.
I don't even know what movie. Is it like that scene in Scanners where the dude's head explodes?
Yes,
Like
yes.
that's a quote from some other movie.
It's everywhere.
Um,
Please
hang
go
on.
watch that.
How about oh god, what is it? Okay, so Troll 2.
Troll 2 sucks. I mean, like it
Exactly. Yes, it does. It's terrible.
it's a joke. It's kind of like watching The Room. Have you ever seen The Room, like with friends?
No.
Okay.
Ironically enough, that a scene from that movie just came across some YouTube crap I was watching yesterday.
Okay, so can I tell you? Okay, can I take a moment if I can? Would that be okay? I would like to say that there are certain horror movies or just like personal trash movies that we all know about, like that's in the zeitgeist, that are supposed to be viewed with people that you care about. Like that people that like you, the people that want you in the room with them. And I will say The Room is like one of the best like movies for that because it is horrible. And we want our friends in the room and we watch The Room because it is that
hey,
bad.
Mar.
It's so bad.
I would love to have friends.
Oh yeah.
To be able to do that with. That
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
Great. So if
That's
anybody
the way
wants
to
to move to
experience it.
Huntsville, Texas, and then watch The Room with me, and then leave immediately so I can be alone again, that would be great.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Ghoulies. I posted Ghoulies. Have you seen that?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Somebody posted Cube. That's a sci-fi.
No, Cube counts as horror, but horror sci-fi. Because otherwise, you wouldn't be able to say like Alien was horror. Alien is 100% horror, right? Would you say that?
horror and sci-fi.
It's sci-fi.
You're not going to
It's-
say
it's like
Alien is
suspenseful
horror?
sci-fi.
It scared the hell
No.
out of me.
Oh, it's definitely
I
horror.
never got scared by that. Like I got scared again. I mean, I was born the very end of 1979.
Yeah.
So like I grew up watching Nightmare on Elm Street. Like Friday the 13th sucks. Jason's stupid. Freddy is what's up.
Oh, yeah, Freddy is what's up. Like no question. I don't
Like
question.
that was like I had nightmares. Like we're the Dream Warriors. Like you go to sleep, dude. You're done. You're screwed. So
Dockin scares you.
say that again. No, Dockin does not scare me. Good to hear. Good to see you're still in here, Scott.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Scott, what are your scary movies? I have not seen the Amityville Horror.
Oh,
the original Amityville Horror, the original.
I think
from the
only
70s is
Christians get
fantastic.
scared by Amityville Horror, to be honest with you.
I was raised Christian, and until I got
All right.
smart.
I want to throw my hat in the ring.
Okay.
The Conjuring
Do it.
series is creepy.
It,
I'm not
it
saying
is
it's super
creepy.
scary,
It is
but it'll
creepy.
flip you out.
But literally, I sat my 6-year-old son down, and he was like, "I would like to watch Insidious, Father." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah,
Did he say like that?
kind of." He
I would like to watch Insidious, Father.
He was like, "I would
Did
like
he
to watch it." I
Did
would
he
like
say
to watch
father or
Insidious.
Farger?
Faja.
Is Faja?
He's like, "I'd like to watch Insidious, Faja." No, so we put Insidious on, and the thing. So here's the thing, right? So when I got like into my teens, my dad was like, "Oh, The Exorcist is getting re-released, and it will wreck you because it's the scariest thing ever." And then I watched Exorcist, and I was like, "This is the poorest scary movie I've ever seen in my life. It's not scary.
I feel
at
that
all."
way about The Godfather.
Yeah. Okay, so fine.
It's horrible.
Not scared. I'm not scared in the least bit. And so then I remember when I was a younger man, 10 years ago, when Insidious first came out, and we watched it. And my wife was literally scared out of her mind. She went to go take a bath, and I literally just said, "Insidious," like that. And she was like, "No, don't say that. That's horrible. Don't do that." She's scared out of her mind. I took my 6-year-old son, and he was like, "I think I can watch Insidious." And I went, "All right, let's watch it."
I'm going to give a shout out to Socks Girl who said, "Are you afraid of the dark?" on Nickelodeon.
Oh,
that was
100%.
pretty creepy,
That
dude.
was
I'm not
great.
going to
That
lie
was
to you.
good
That was
stuff.
awesome.
That was good stuff.
That was awesome.
But so hear me out. So we played Insidious, the first Insidious, for my 7-year-old son and my 9-year-old, now 10. And it doesn't hold up. It's not scary. It's really not scary. To them, they're like, that's not that big a deal. It happened that fast. Like, if you think about how Exorcist, like in the 70s, was still considered a scary movie in the 90s that they remade and was considered still scary, versus now, 6 years for Insidious. Actually, I think it's even longer than that. My kids looked at it and they're like, "Oh, this is nothing. This is not scary at all."
So this begs the question, Josh.
Yeah.
What, pray tell,
Yes.
are you going to be doing for Halloween live stream?
Oh, buddy. I have so many things we're going to do. So many things. I'm already putting it together. It is my least watched live stream that I put the most amount of energy.
Really?
in. Oh yeah. I get no views. On my Halloween live stream. And
Well,
I
you'll
love it
have
the
one
most.
from me.
I love it
I'll
the
be
most.
there.
It's my most favorite thing that I do. And I have wait, I'll show you. I'll show you something.
Don't tease it. Don't tease it.
I 3D printed a skull. This has a prominent point on the live stream. And yes, I'm very excited about that.
That's great. I love that stream. That and the Halloween or the Christmas. We all do. I live in a cul-de-sac, dude. I get 0 trick-or-treaters, so I'll be there.
Well, cheers. We're going to wrap this up because I have to go hang out with the kids and eat food. It's also good to eat food. But anybody who says...
That's a nice print. Holy crap.
What's that?
I mean, I'm watching you on a delay on YouTube, but that's a nice print of that skull.
Oh, yeah. It was really good. Really good.
Nice.
Oh no, Roy in the YouTube chat has a very fun point. A new co-host.
New co-host?
Yeah, Roy in the YouTube chat said, a new co-host, LOL. I guess Mike needs to be back here more often.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I'm more a in limited quantity kind of, you know.
A guest star.
Do you guys really want me here talking as much as I do?
At least you let others
I don't
in,
feel
unlike someone else we know.
Say that again?
This whole time it has been extremely entertaining.
At least you let...
I thought he meant the skull, too.
There's let me first say, there are a couple of people that I can talk to, and we can just make a 60 minutes just completely disappear. It's Mike. It's probably Hayden. Easily do that with Tamitha Skov. There's nobody that can interview Tamitha Skov and not be able to make 60 minutes evaporate instantly. The thing is that when you do a live stream show, oftentimes I just want to go live. Like, I just want to be like, let's just do the live thing, make it happen right now, and show you what I'm doing. If I got to have more people involved and I got to do all of this other stuff, like it's extra baggage on how quickly I could just be doing this right now. Like, I literally have Guritama here with a skull that I printed. Like, that's a little wild. It's a little wild time what's happening right now. So the skull is going to be on the, like, literally a skull is going to be on the live stream chat that we're going to do for Halloween. And yes, it's really important that you watch because it will vary the amount of what happens. I don't know. That's what I'm going to say about that. So I gotta wrap up here. I'm gonna hop out. So to everybody in the Discord, love you guys, but I gotta go. So we're gonna say good night and take it easy.
Make the jaw at least like say bye or something. Ah ha ha ha.
Oh, bye. The mandibles don't move. The mandible doesn't move on this one.
Well, you failed life then. So bye.
Bye.
Just disconnect. Just go.
Bye.
Be Josh. Bye.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. Take it easy. That's on the. There we go.
73, Josh.
All right. See ya. All right. So that's on the Discord side. Thanks for watching. I don't even know how we keep doing this. It's crazy. But guess what? We're rolling into autumn. And autumn is where we do the Halloween things. And that will be a part of it. One of the holes is bigger than the other hole. What do you think Josh is going to do with all of that? I've already planned something. I got to finish it. But what do you think I'm doing? That's the question. Post below. I will talk to you later. 73. Do the thing. Play it.